Two red-hot football teams meet to win the Division I California State High School Championship. Granite Bay and Long Beach Poly. Both teams started 1-3, but they are now 12-3 and here to play for the championship. Ari Wolf alongside Mike Pulowski. And for the Jackrabbits of Long Beach Poly, a rich tradition of success. Coach Lara said the team found itself at 1-3. They had to have a pep talk in the auditorium. They even brought administrators to try to turn around the season. But boy, have they come on strong at the end of the year.
Brought his team in and said, I've got your back. And that meant more to those kids than any other lesson he couldn't have given them. He knew their coach was there, and look what they have done in their playoff run. Bishop Amat, Mission Viejo, John Bosco, Mater Dei, and to finish with Clovis North to get to the state championship game. That is an impressive list of victories for this Poly team. And the way they're doing it is on the ground. Montezuma Luga at tailback for this Poly team has been fantastic. A strong runner inside, 95 rushing yards last week in their play-in game. And Gerard Wicks, another great rusher. He had 100 on the ground. He's the speed guy. He will run to the sideline. He is the guy that can get out and go. If you let him break contain, you will lose him to the end zone. They are a running football team, and they will run the ball hard tonight. Granite Bay will look for it. But Poly is known to tote the rock, and tonight it's no different.
Well, big test for the Grizzly defense, and they are led by Cameron Smith. This guy is an animal at the linebacker position. 189 tackles in 15 games.
Fantastic athlete, playing that outside linebacker position. He gets to clean up everything, has a great mind for football, knows how to sweep, knows how to scrape to a play. 189 tackles and 4 interceptions. Big ones, 2 of them last week for the play-in game. That has been fantastic on defense. And, of course, Granite Bay will also run the ball. They have Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside. John Cooley will take the inside running game, the traps, the powers, the bellies, those kind of thing. And on the outside, Tony Ellison is the fly sweep back. He will be the guy that gets the ball running to the outside. Granite Bay also loves to pound it. They will do it disciplined. Poly will try to do it with speed. It will be a great matchup tonight.
We are looking forward to this one. The Grizzlies and the Jackrabbits. The Division I California State title tonight. Home Depot Center. Do not go anywhere. We cannot wait for the start of this one. Who's going to win the Division I title? We find out next. CIF State Division I Championship Bowl game. Granite Bay and Long Beach Poly from the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. They're the Grizzlies getting themselves fired up. And the Jackrabbits, they got a sledgehammer and a baseball bat. They're ready to go. Let's check in with the third member of the broadcast team, Andrea Avendrea.
Thanks, Ari. Coach, your team started the season 1-3, and then they surged and never stopped. What's the biggest difference between the beginning of the season and now?
The biggest difference is the kids believe in themselves now. I think, a lot of it had to do with inexperienced kids in the beginning of the year. Even though we had some seniors, they never played before, and then they got that experience, and they eventually got more confident. And, we worked hard. We worked hard trying to get better, and praise God that we did get better.
Defense has been a strength all season, especially the pass rush. But what's crucial in slowing down Granite Bay's extremely effective rushing attack tonight?
Well, it's always been, my thing about controlling the line of scrimmage and taking care of that football. So obviously our defensive line needs to control the line of scrimmage with the linebackers, and we need to make sure that we handle their offense in the sense of, they run a lot of traps inside and stuff like that. We have to be sharp there.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Best of luck tonight. Let's send it back to you, Ari.
Thank you so much. Coin toss out at midfield to give you some perspective on Long Beach Poly. Second most wins in state history behind Bakersfield, 721 all-time wins, 19 section titles. That's the third most in California history. They've had a varsity football team at Long Beach Poly, Mike, since 1904, but they have never won a state bowl championship game. They've appeared in one. They lost, so this is a chance to make history tonight for Long Beach Poly.
That's right, a team that is looking, although it has had a name as a fantastic football dominant high school team, they want to make their name on the state championship stage. Coach Lara has his team geared up. He has a talented team this year, and it's a different team because the teams in years past have been individual oriented, great individuals at each position. He said this team this year is much more of a team spirit, a team concept where it's not one guy, one superstar here and there. It is everybody playing together, and that bodes well for a championship run.
They have had some incredible superstars that have gone on to the NFL. And there is Coach Ernie Cooper. He's been coaching for 42 years. He's in his 16th season at Granite Bay. He's been a part of 4 section title winners, and has a chance to win their first ever state bowl game and their first appearance in a state bowl championship. And there you see the great record for Ernie Cooper, the only varsity coach in school history.
Started with the program and has continued through it. Been very good for the kids, very good for the school. In a tough football area, I tell you now, Granite Bay, they play some solid football out there with teams like Del Oro and Rockland and Granite Bay and all the great teams from that league out in Sacramento, just a bedroom community of the Sacramento City. It is a fantastic place to live and a great football area up in Northern California.
Colin Brown to kick it off. We've got 12 minutes on the clock, and this Division I state title game is underway. Good coverage on the return. Just 7 yards on the return for the Jackrabbits. John Smith, the return man for Long Beach Poly, and here we go. Ty Tiedemann is the quarterback. He is very slight-framed young man, just a sophomore. They don't ask him to throw it very much, only 155 attempts on the season. They want him to manage the position. Sharp kid, they like his intangibles.
Slight frame is a nice way of putting it, though. He is drastically undersized. He's tall enough, but he needs to grow into that height.
Wicks was in there. They went with the Wildcat to start the game. Tiedemann wasn't even in the game. Gerard Wicks got the ball in the Wildcat formation.
And look at that, 3 blockers in the backfield out front, including a pulling guard. They have number 55, Jason Fow, back out there leading the train, starting off with a little trickery in the Wildcat formation.
And again, it's Wicks, and you see great numbers for Wicks this season. 5'10", 185-pound senior. And this time he wants to come to the right. Wicks trying to get to the outside and can't do it.
Great play by Aaron Knapp, getting out there in speed. And what Long Beach Poly's trying to do, look at the overload. So you're going to have these 3 guys all lead up in front, block down across the left side. These guys fold across and lead up for Wicks. Excellent job of blocking up front, but Aaron Knapp with that speed from the free safety position coming up and making a great shoestring tackle. Knapp is a guy that we'll be talking about all game long. He's been fantastic for that Granite Bay defense.
3rd and 3. Manu Luga now in the Wildcat, and he wants to throw it. And was he in bounds is the question. Yes, it's going to be a first down for the Jackrabbits at the 45-yard line.
Excellent pass by Luga. You wouldn't expect a tailback to be able to throw like that, but he puts that ball in a perfect position.
And Drummer just got his foot in bounds. David Drummer, just his 6th catch of the year.
Great catch by Drummer out there. Big mismatch in size. Drummer coming in at 6'4", 220 against Knapp, who comes in at 5'10". So good size mismatch in favor of Poly.
Tiedemann now finally enters the game. He's under center. And we've got movement from the left guard. Let's take a look at the Jackrabbits offense. An offense averaging just under 29 points per game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
2 quality running backs. Thomas Tucker is their #1 receiver with 33 catches on the season. And John Collins is the leader of that offensive line. He's kind of undersized. Too small to really be a Division I prospect, but he is the heart and soul of that offensive line at the right tackle. And there's Ty Tiedemann. 1st and 15. Wicks the tailback. They'll toss it to Wicks. Nice job defensively from the Grizzlies as they strung it out. Nick Grace, the cornerback, forces them out of bounds as we take a look at the Grizzlies defense. Hirschberger is a stud, 83 tackles on the season, and Aaron Knapp, the free safety. He's going to be a scholarship baseball player at Cal. His brother played free safety for the Grizzlies. Got a rich tradition, and Coach Cooper said he's going to miss having one of the Knapp guys back there at free safety. Says it's been a great luxury having both Andrew and Aaron.
Yeah, 4 of the last 5 years, and Knapp so far already making 2 huge plays in the run game, making that tackle to the outside on the pitch.
Luga, the ball carrier. And Luga gets to midfield. There is a flag back at the 27-yard line.
Illegal shift. Offense.
One of the things that Coach Lara told us is that they needed to be very disciplined, because when he saw this Granite Bay team on film, he thought they were a disciplined team. So far, 2 penalties, an offside and an illegal shift. Not disciplined football. His team wants to put together those long drives, and they need to bring their discipline in this game. These penalties are killing them right now. They got a big gain right there and gained a big chunk of yardage back, but they take that back because of the penalty.
Penalty accepted. Second down.
It'll be second down for the Jackrabbits, and we'll talk throughout the game about the Poly way. Coach Lara says he doesn't know any other way. He played at Long Beach Poly. He's coached at Long Beach Poly. He only knows their tradition and the way they do things.
Yeah, 23 years coaching on top of his 4 years of playing at Poly. That's the way that he understands, but it's been very efficient. So if that's what you know, they have been successful throughout the history of the program. He is coaching with a successful program now.
Tiedemann, they set up the screen pass to Luga. Luga makes one guy miss, and then he gets buried at the 35.
And Bo Hirschberger flying to the ball for Granite Bay. Here's a guy who is a stud end. That's what they call him, at the defensive end. He sees, he sniffs out the screen from the backside in pursuit, running across, and makes a perfect form tackle. Granite Bay is flying around right now. So far, the effort of Granite Bay has negated the speed of Poly.
3rd and 18 for Poly. They roll out Tiedemann a few steps. He throws, nice ball. It's very close to a first down, but it appears it's about at least a yard shy. Interesting place on the field for a 4th down decision for Coach Lara.
Great ball by Tiedemann. Watch him as he rolls to his right. Delivers an absolute strike to Derek, who is down on the deep hook route. Nice pass by the sophomore quarterback. Very slight in stature, but has a good arm at that position. Coach Lara told us he wants him to manage the game. Well, that time, he did a little more than manage the game. He threw an absolute bullet.
So they will go for it on 4th and short.
Single coverage on the outside.
Wicks, the tailback. Tiedemann tosses it to Wicks. Wicks gets hit and stopped.
Did not happen.
The Grizzlies come up with the defensive stop. Dylan Kenny, number 30, backup outside linebacker, steps in there, makes the tackle. So the Grizzly defense comes up with the stop. Their team's fired up. We'll take a look at the Grizzly offense when we come back.
No score so far at the Home Depot Center. Granite Bay defense coming up big in the last play. Watch here. A single player absorbing 2 blocks as we go. Dylan Keeney on the outside. Go ahead and roll it. He absorbs 2 blockers right there. Allows Aaron Knapp to come in and make the tackle underneath. Point of attack plays like that as a defensive end or outside linebacker. You need to be able to absorb these guys. You don't always get the credit for it with the tackle. Aaron Knapp gets the tackle, but Keeney made the play by absorbing 2 blockers off that Poly line. Excellent defensive effort. Coach Lara right now scratching his head saying we're supposed to be faster than these guys. But so far, the effort of Granite Bay has overcome the speed.
Granite Bay's been flying around. Their quarterback is number 10, Grant Caraway, 6'1", 190-pound senior. 4.0 student being recruited by Yale. And they'll start out on the ball with Ellison, and Ellison gets into Jackrabbit territory, picks up 9 yards on first down.
That's a sweep in the fly sweep series they call the green sweep. Green sweep meaning this thing is going outside. You can see Ellison a little beat up. He is going to get wide, period. There is no turning that ball back inside. He is going to run to the sideline. He's trying to stretch the defense, force them to get outside and compensate for it. He took a big shot on the play. He will be back in the game.
John Cooley Bust right through the middle, down at the 32-yard line. 17 yards on the play for John Cooley.
So you run the sweep first, you come back and run the trap inside again. Momentum going one way. Long Beach Poly trying to honor the sweep. They're running to the sideline. When they do that, that opens up that inside trap game. You get the holes. Cooley hits it perfectly. He is Mr. Inside. He's going to pound the ball downhill.
Terrific start for the Grizzlies. Caraway wants to throw. Thought twice about it. Ty Serna, the intended target. Have a look at the Grizzly offense. We've talked about Cooley and Ellison. They both do a terrific job. And then up front, the key guy is Kevin Blank. They really like him. He'll always be opposite the tight end. He missed a couple of games, but once he came back, really brought the cohesiveness to the offensive line. There he is, number 74.
A big player. He's the guy, as you said, Wolfie, that turned this around. When he came back in, the offensive line came together, and the offense really started to function.
Tap Partridge, the ball carrier. Take a look at the Long Beach Poly defense. You get into that secondary. Matthew Maitai, very good player. They like him a lot. Marshall, a terrific corner. They also like Price. They believe their secondary is the best in the state.
Period. Coach Laura said, I look at it, I don't see any better down in Southern California. For that matter, I don't see a better secondary in the state. They have great athletes on that side of the ball.
Caraway wants to tuck it and run. Now he's thinking about throwing again. Gets rid of it, and it is caught. And it appears the forward progress is going to be enough for a first down. David Price with the tackle, but very nice judgment that time from Caraway as he waited and waited and found Mark Ellis.
Actually had his tight end open on the corner route early on, but he decided to tuck the ball, felt the pressure. But tell me this is not a stud catch by Ellis to go up in traffic knowing you're going to get hit and to come down with that ball. That is football courage at its finest. He knew he was going to get punished, but he made the play for his team.
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. An offense averaging just under 37 points per game. It's Ellison. And the fly sweep guy really has to be the burner, the speed guy. And he's on the track team as well. And he might be slight of frame, but this guy can really move. And there you see number 9, John Smith, coming up to make the play for the Jackrabbits.
Well, Coach Ernie Cooper pointed out earlier to me, he said, look, we've got 4 fly sweep guys that have played in the NFL. Our fly sweep guys have made it onto the NFL. He said, this is going to be number 5. He thinks he's a great athlete, loves running the ball in that fly sweep. Not just that, he has that it factor that a lot of the other athletes don't have. He knows how to balance his body. He knows when to make the cut. Just has a sense. Ellison is perfect for that fly sweep position.
2nd and 7. Caraway's in trouble. He'll go down. The sack came quick from Jayon Brown, outside linebacker, his 3rd sack of the season. And the coaches refer to him, he's the MVP, they think, of the defense.
Grant Caraway didn't see it coming, trying to run what's called a molly by that inside guard, where he was supposed to check down and then kick out on his block. Was not able to get there in time. Brown just too fast off the outside, 5'10", 180 pounds, and quick as a cat at that outside linebacker position. Absolutely beat Justin Ramirez to the spot.
Now 89 tackles on the season for Brown, which leads the team. Caraway. And his receiver not even close. Caraway got rid of that one a little before he wanted to, so now it's 4th down. And the kicking group will come out for the Grizzlies. Colin Brown, their field goal kicker, 8 made field goals this season.
This would be big for Granite Bay. Obviously, coming into this game, media favoring Poly, understanding their talent, but for them to get that big 4th down stop and to come down and score on their first drive, that is a big confidence builder for this Granite Bay team.
42-yard attempt for Colin Brown. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way. Short, well short. So no points for the Grizzlies. Both teams, offensively, pretty solid drives. And you can see all the fans that have come here to the Home Depot Center. The pageantry of California State High School Championship Bowl game. No score, 5:32 to go in the first quarter. When we come back, another look at the Jackrabbit offense. Beach Poly dominance. More players in the NFL than any other school in the United States. They've made the playoffs every year since 1980. 19 CIF titles. Their first came all the way back in 1919.
A long time ago.
Yes.
Been such a tradition, such great football. Voted the Sports Illustrated Sports School of the Century. They have just been so fantastic. And Coach Lara, obviously, not just a coach at the school for 23 years, but also a player at the school.
1st and 10 for the Jackrabbits from their own 20. Manu Luga will be the tailback to start this series. Tiedemann wants to throw. Not on target. Looking for Thomas Tucker.
That was a pretty route on the outside by Tucker, though. An excellent job getting into and out of his break. And that's one of those things you get with the sophomore quarterback. Watch him drop his pads and get in and out of his break. Excellent speed cut on the out route. Just not able to get back around to the ball. Sophomore quarterback, you have some accuracy issues. Again, Tiedemann will grow into his body and his arm, but right now he doesn't have the accuracy that he will later.
Luga. This Grizzly defense, Mike, is flying around. I mean, they have brought the intensity from the opening kick.
They are swarming. They are at the point of attack. They are running to the ball. They are being physical up front. This is the discipline. This is the toughness that Coach Lara told us about. He said, look, these guys are tough, hard-nosed kids. You can see it on film, and right now it's showing up for Granite Bay.
Third and long for the Jackrabbits. Wicks the ball carrier. No place to go. The Grizzlies have done such a nice job against the run so far. Cameron Smith, who we talked about in the open, 46, comes in to help out on the tackle.
And guys just selling out, running their assignment. Inside, getting down and dirty. You've got J.R. Carlton selling out his body. You've got Dylan Keeney again in there. And Smith just cleaning everything up at the end. Guys working assignments. That is such a key to good football. Right now, Granite Bay is getting it done.
Ellison waits at midfield. Effective punt. Takes a Long Beach Poly bounce, and it will be down at the 27-yard line.
Well, Granite Bay has been excellent on defense all year long. But tonight, they are taking on a team that is markedly faster than they are. What you're seeing from Granite Bay is guys playing assignment-oriented football, getting to the ball, getting to the point of attack first. And when they get there, they come with an attitude. People making big plays, big hits, physical efforts, and have done a ton of film study. Coach Ernie Cooper said, we will not lose this game for lack of preparation. We have prepared, we know what to expect, and we will come in and play things hard.
Caraway gives it to Cooley, and no place to go. Loss of a yard on the play.
Cooley just keeps on fighting. Jayon Brown coming in. But watch Cooley as he takes his ball. Again, this is that inside belly play. It's a power play. He takes on one tackler, bounces off. He's a hard man to bring down. The first contact in the film that I have seen has almost never brings him down. He has great balance, and he has great leg drive for a high school player. It's going to take more than one man to bring him down tonight.
Flag before the play.
Before the snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, Coach Cooper saying I didn't see it, and I didn't see it from up here in the booth either. They sent the man in motion, but that doesn't mean it was a false start. Well, there's nothing in there that's a false start. Nobody moved.
It's a state championship game for everybody.
Tough.
It's early,
No,
you
it's
know.
tough. Yeah, I mean,
Official,
they
people are entitled
obviously
to a
saw
mistake.
something.
Yep. 2nd and 15. Caraway wants to throw, almost picked off. Brown Got back into coverage, got his hands up, and he knows he should have caught that football. That could have potentially turned into points there for Brown, the outside linebacker.
So Pauly is rotating their coverage down. As Granite Bay goes in motion, Pauly is going to rotate coverage down, which is going to leave this outside linebacker in position to sit. When you turn around as a quarterback, you have to look for it. Grant Caraway did not know the linebacker was going to sit there. He did not see the coverage rotate across. When he turned around to make that throw, he almost got it picked going the other way for 6 points.
Caraway, they set up the screen, and Partridge has no place to go. Well defended by the Jackrabbits, and it's 4th down. 2-yard gain, so a very effective defensive series from Long Beach Poly.
Great job of sniffing that play out by Caleb Turner from Pauly to stay home and spy on the screen. Excellent job of pattern recognition, seeing what was going to happen, watching those offensive linemen let their guys go by. Stayed home and made a great tackle for his team.
Grant Caraway, not only the quarterback, he's also the punter, averaging a little more than 32 yards per punt. John Smith waiting at his own 45-yard line. Smith is going to stay away from it, and it takes a Poly bounce. So they will have 1st and 10 in Granite Bay territory at the 45-yard line. Were you expecting it to be this much of a defensive game between these two schools?
Well, I know both these teams pound the ball. I also knew that Granite Bay's defense under Ernie Cooper would be aggressive. They swarm the football. I've seen them play. They are an excellent team. They don't, individually, you would not look at them and say, these guys have great team speed individually. But as a team, they swarm and they are fast together. So great team speed combined. Poly, I knew their defense would be great because they have great individual speed. Guys will get there and make plays.
Luga, he sifts through some traffic, running between the tackles, picks up 5 yards. Hirschberger makes the tackle. Hirschberger being recruited by all the service academies, also being looked at by Nevada. He's got a 3.6 GPA. Guy just loves to play football. Coach Cooper could not say enough things about Hirschberger and just how much he enjoys practice and playing. Just can't get enough football.
Yeah, loves him. And he's one of those guys. He's the guy on defense that Ellison is on offense. He has the explosion. He has the hips. He has it at that defensive end position.
2nd and 5. The give is to Wicks. Little flea flicker. Wicks is open. He's got the football. And he'll take it for the touchdown. Touchdown, Jackrabbits.
Great play design. The most uncovered man in football is the back who gets the initial fake because people react to him. And then once they realize that he doesn't have the ball, they disregard him entirely. So Wicks hands it off, and everybody ignores him. They got to chase the reverse, chase the reverse. Well, don't forget about him running down the sideline. There is nobody near him. You see out of position, Granite Bay, Tony Milo should have been there for the play. Instead, he was trying to chase the reverse. Excellent play design and execution by Paula.
And I love that they brought in the backup quarterback, Jackson, and he throws a great ball. Because oftentimes you'll have another guy out there, not a true quarterback, making that throw, but Jackson will get credit for the touchdown pass. His 8th touchdown pass of the season as he finds Wicks, and Wicks his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season.
And a great job spinning it off his back foot as well. Yvonne Jackson falling away, showing that he has a big arm at that quarterback position. And how stout is Wicks? I mean, he's getting twisted, getting turned, staying balanced down the sideline and into the end zone. You think he's happy about that touchdown pass?
I think he's real happy about it. So Poly gets on the board first, leading 7-0. There you see Wicks, the 40-yard touchdown catch.
This is the first time he's telling the story. That'll happen for the next 50 years. You know, I was back in the state high school championship game and threw that big touchdown pass.
Right, today it's 40. By the time he's 60 years old, that pass will be 65 or 70 yards.
Oh, easy, and he had 5 guys hanging off him. But that's the beauty of the state high school championships. No matter where these guys go on to, if they go on to play at the next level, play in the NFL even, they'll remember this game because this is the biggest game in their career to date. They have nothing to compare it to. This is the state championships, and they are representing Southern California.
Ellison and Partridge are deep, and Coach Lara is happy, and you can see Jackson still smiling.
A little happier now, isn't he? Feeling better. He was actually feeling kind of loose before the game. I went down and talked to him. You know, he's one of those guys who's kind of always on top of things, always on top of the game, has that Pauly attitude when he walks around. But he was loose tonight. He was ready to go. You could see he was in his element.
Well, he sort of feels like once they started 1-3, they have nothing to lose anymore, because everybody thought their season was over. Ellison on the return. And Ellison, a very nice job on the return, gets across the 30. 26 yards on the return for Tony Ellison. We'll see how the Grizzly offense reacts. They're trailing for the first time, 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. One thing I've noticed from the Grizzlies is they huddle up further away from the football than any team I've ever seen. What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, what they do is they get up, they get down, and get off. So that gives them, from that huddle, to get to the line of scrimmage, they sprint. It's crisp. They get up, they get down, and the snap is off. It's a rhythm that they get into.
John Cooley, the ball carrier. Short gain on first down.
I would expect to see Coach Cooper coming back with the fly sweep. That is what they do. Their sweep package, when they are good, they are solid with it. And I asked him, I said, look, Pauly has great team speed, so are you worried their team speed is going to negate your fly sweep? He says, we don't care. We will continue to run it because they have to stop it. Once they stop it, then they stop honoring other things. And that's a big part of that Granite Bay package.
Caraway moving to his left. He's going to tuck and run. And Caraway, there is a flag. I think we're going to have an illegal block.
Yeah, threw it right at John Cooley.
Yep.
So right now, Caraway is looking downfield to the corner route. He actually had Cooley in the flat, but Cooley...
Illegal block in the back.
And you can see it right there, behind the pads, made a block on Jayon Brown. Cooley trying to do the right thing for his quarterback. Once your quarterback turns into a runner, then you block downfield, you clear space for him. The problem was he ended up hitting Brown in the back. You see right there, it's behind the shoulder pads. You have to get your helmet in front of the shoulder pads for that to be a legal block. Great effort, average execution.
Makes it second down, 16 yards to go. Ellison on the fly sweep, gets to the outside. And then the speed of the Pauly defense. Amari Lyles, number 42, able to keep Ellison from getting to the edge.
And Lyles, one of those outspoken team leaders, he is the guy that actually leads the chant in warm-up, a tradition for Pauly. Can't afford to lose him. He is the guy. He is one of the heart and soul of that defense.
First quarter is complete at the Home Depot Center. The CIF Division I State Championship Bowl game. A great matchup we knew coming in. Granite Bay representing Northern California. Long Beach Poly representing Southern California. It's the Jackrabbits in front after one quarter, 7-0. We'll be right back with the start of the second quarter. Welcome back, getting set for the start of the second quarter. Long Beach Poly leading Granite Bay 7-0. Mike, there's been some rain during today. We've got a real grass field. Does that affect either of these teams? Who's the advantage?
It's actually unique in this facility. They replaced the grass field in the offseason. So when it's soccer, it is actually a grass field. Right now, it's the artificial turf that's out there that they roll out. So it can get slick if it gets wet, but it stays a very clean surface. 3 years ago here, it was a deluge, and it was like playing in a swamp because it was ankle deep when De La Salle was playing Servite in the Open Championship. Even with a lot of rain in here now, the drainage has been fixed. They have cement on the outside. It's a much cleaner surface. So I think the rain would actually help Granite Bay in that it would keep the field a little bit slicker and speed would be neutralized by a bit.
Partridge tackled in the backfield. Brown has had a very strong start to the game, the outside linebacker. The coach has just raved about being the leader of the defense.
And a great job of staying unblocked by Brown. Granite Bay was supposed to bring a receiver back inside to block him. He slipped it, got upfield. Penetration, as much as it upsets the passing game, will definitely blow up the running game. That time, Jayon Brown doing an excellent job of penetrating upfield and making the play from there.
Grant Caraway to punt. John Smith waits back at his own 40-yard line. Pretty short kick. Smith's going to stay away from it, and it's going to take a good, very good Grizzly bounce. Ball be down at the 27-yard line. And that's where Poly will take over. We saw so much emotion from the Grizzlies right at the start of the game, Mike. Now it seems that Long Beach Poly has settled into the game and has been able to now match the Grizzlies' intensity.
Not only that, obviously they're making the big play. They got over the top with something. They broke a seam. You know, it's that dike. They put a crack in the dike right now, and they kind of stung Granite Bay. Granite Bay has to find a way to rally back, to get back into this game and get back on top on defense, because it was that intensity that was really helping control the line of scrimmage. Poly believes, and we heard Coach Laura say, in controlling the line of scrimmage. Granite Bay has done it on defense so far.
Tiedemann wants to throw. It's incomplete. Nick Grace in coverage. John Smith, the intended target.
And Grace is a kid at 5'11", 160. Not very big on the outside. He's a 2-year starter at that corner position for Granite Bay. Last year, everybody threw at him. Coach Cooper said everybody was going after him. They threw 5 deep balls on him again. He said this year they're not doing it as much because he showed what he could do last year. They thought Poly had the matchup on the outside, but once again, Grace is right there.
Again, they go to this jumbo formation. Luga. And Luga is brought down after a gain of 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. Mason Conan, the middle linebacker, he does all the dirty work. When he gets the tackle this time, he now has 111 tackles on the season.
Watch all the beef in the backfield, leading up that hole, sealing the edge, doing an excellent job getting that covered up on the outside. You get Mason Conan pursuing through, scraping from inside out, and then good force from the secondary on the outside. Granite Bay playing it to perfection.
Little misdirection play, and the runner just fell down, or the play was there for Jeremy Calhoun. If he doesn't slip, he has the first down for sure.
Oh, he doesn't just have the first down. He's got the first down and plenty of extra real estate. You see this Granite Bay all heading to the left. If Calhoun can stay on his feet, he has big yardage, especially if he can get to the outside.
Do you think there the dampness on that surface down there was a factor?
I think trying to do too much too quick with the ball. I'm sure the dampness didn't help, but sometimes your mind goes faster than your feet can as a running back.
Ellison is back deep for the Grizzlies. Strong punt. Ellison back to his own 25, and he gets smothered. Great coverage from Poly. We will take a break. 9:44 to go in the second quarter. Division I State Championship Bowl game. Jackrabbits lead 7-0. A cold, rainy night at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. People trying to stay dry out there. It's not affecting the band from Granite Bay.
Aren't you from Wisconsin originally?
Well, originally from Pennsylvania, but I spent most of my youth in Wisconsin.
That's cold. This is Southern California cold.
Well, but I've now become accustomed to Southern California, and this is a cold night.
This is cold in the Southland of California, but you see everybody snuggling up with the towels. Eventually, people will migrate if the rain continues up underneath the eaves. You see it starting already. A lot of fans up in the upper stands. The diehards down low. You can always tell the diehards when they have those Grinch hats on. Definitely diehard football fans.
Caraway under center, 1st and 10 to give to Ellison. And Ellison loses 5 yards on 1st down.
Great job blocking that up off the outside. Omari Lyles coming out there. Watch the upfield surge by this Poly defense. Again, penetration beats the sweep every time. Omari Lyles doing a great job getting outside, set up. by number 7, Matthew Maitai, getting that big block, that big hit, forcing contain. That was called the yellow light sweep. Has an opportunity of going inside or out.
How about the body on Lyles? He's only a sophomore.
Just a sophomore.
He looks
young
like a sophomore
kid,
in college.
but talented.
Very nice throw from Caraway. Right on the money to Michael Garrity. Garrity able to make the catch. A little bit shy of the first down.
Simple double slant to the wide side of the field. Great job by Caraway picking a receiver, delivering the ball. Long Beach Poly really out of position. Nobody there to make the play. Michael Garrity, an excellent job getting the ball. He was looking to get hit right away. When he didn't get that, he picked up a couple extra yards.
And John Smith was shaken up on that play, so he's not in the game right now. One of the safeties for the Jackrabbits. And it's Ellison has the first down for the Grizzlies. Gets up to the 45-yard line. Best carry of the night for Tony Ellison.
So we talked a little bit about that fly sweep series. The green light series means it's going outside. Red light series means it's going to cut back up. You get a team flowing to the wide side. They start pursuing, getting upfield penetration like I was talking about earlier. What do? You use that against them. You cut that ball back inside. Just like in the zone play, when you watch teams run the zone, they'll run front side, cut back. That's called the red light in that fly sweep package, and it's meant to cut back inside.
They keep it on the ground with John Cooley. And Cooley, another big play on the ground for the Grizzlies, gets to the 38. Jayon Brown makes the tackle for Poly, but not until another first down for the Grizzlies.
So watch flow all going with the sweep here. What does that open up? It opens up your trap. You get a kick block here. Your trap comes inside and opens that hole for your fullback. Great job. And watch at the end as Cooley puts this ball away and holds onto it with both hands. An excellent job of recognition. Switches it to his right hand and then locks it up with both hands, making sure he keeps ball security.
It's Ellison, and he fumbles it. Ball's on the ground, recovered by Poly. So good-looking drive for the Grizzlies is stopped by the fumble. And Marshall recovers it, number 8, the cornerback.
And I was just talking about ball security, so big in big games. Granite Bay was actually plus 18 in the turnover takeaway ratio this year. But as Ellison comes upfield, just got a helmet directly on the football. Watch the helmet. Number 32. Tenement Robbins puts his helmet on the ball. Excuse me, that was 22. Jordan Davidson put his helmet right on the ball in Ellison's hand and popped it out.
1st and 10 for Poly. Luga the ball carrier, and Luga fighting hard. Gets to the 39-yard line and very close to a first down. He does have it.
We are seeing a very heavy dose of the Wildcat for Poly tonight.
You think it's fair to say that Tiedemann has been in less than half the plays, or right about 50-50?
I would say less than half the plays. Just getting a very heavy dose of that Wildcat. Coach Lara saw something he liked. He told us he was going to pound the football. They were going to try to use their speed tonight. They felt they had the advantage. They were going to use that speed advantage.
Now it's Wicks in the Wildcat. And Wicks, no place to go. He gets hit hard by Hirschberger, and then the swarming Grizzlies turned it into a huge loss for Poly, a loss of 7.
Dylan Keeney coming up with the play at the end, chasing Wicks down. So that team speed doesn't show up this time. Going to hit the line of scrimmage, and Keeney off the outside, keeping contained at that outside linebacker position. Excellent job in pursuit on that play.
But like you've been saying, the penetration was key because Hirschberger got in there and disrupted the play right away.
Right off the back. And Brenton Keeney, his brother, actually older brother, is a quarterback at Cal right now. So an athletic family. Brandon actually played at Granite Bay as well.
2nd and 16. Luga reverses his field, wants to throw, and that's picked off.
And Keeney, again, coming back with a huge play on defense. Making up the ground. Luga trying to go for it again at that running back position. We saw him throw earlier. Came back on the roll, tried to deliver the ball, but Keeney was in position. So Granite Bay getting a big turnover to come back down by 7, but have the offense on the field.
to the Home Depot Center. Well, a lot of energy here on the Granite Bay sideline, especially after that big interception. And I know Ari mentioned earlier about the emotion that the Granite Bay defense had, and I was standing behind some players that were saying we need to keep our energy level up. It's going up and down, and we need to be more consistent with that on both sides of the ball. And they said they wanted to get a big takeaway to change the momentum, and it looks like they might have just gotten that, guys. We'll see.
Well done, Drea. And there is the guy who made it happen right there. He had a terrific series. Comes up. That was not an easy interception. He looked almost like a receiver on that play.
Great job running to the point, high pointing the ball, excellent play. You know, Dylan Keeney is a guy who really hasn't, he's been a backup on defense for a lot of the season. He's been a special teams guy. Just a junior this year. Coach believes in getting the seniors in if he can. He's been a special teams superhero, but came up with a huge play in this game.
John Cooley, the ball carrier, picks up a few yards on first down.
And Cooley so very physical. You don't like to see that. Out of your star running back, Cooley's such a big part of why this team has gotten here. And he's obviously in pain right now.
And he was so patient. I mean, Cooley the last 2 years has been waiting for his opportunity. And here he is in the state championship game. Hopefully he's just a little bit nicked up.
So tough. He will not go down. Not exactly sure I saw when that happened. Made great initial contact and kind of dropped that right arm after that. But he's a guy that's so hard to bring down.
Took a pretty good hit there at the very end of the play.
I believe it was the initial hit, because you watch him drop his arm. If we go back to the very beginning, the first hit, you watch him drop that right shoulder. Sometimes you get hit on top of the shoulder like that, your AC joint's up there, and you get the stingers that come out. Watch as he lowers the right shoulder. Boom, big initial hit. And when you get your head down like that, and you get your shoulder down like that, you see how the right arm kind of drops out. Oftentimes you get what's called a stinger. You get hit hard on the shoulder, on the neck, you kind of stretch that side. You get a nerve in there, and it sends the burning down your arm, and it does not feel good. I have been the recipient of several of those myself. But it's one of those things that you come back from and you can play. Once the burning goes away, you feel much better.
Good news, he was able to walk off on his own. Hopefully he'll just be out for a play or two. John Cooley, 5'10", 185-pound senior. Last year, he wanted to play so bad, he told the coach, put me in all the special teams, and he ended up being the MVP on special teams for the team last year. He wanted to do whatever he could to help.
And that was the role I was just talking about. Dylan Keeney has taken over this year for that team. A guy who just wants to contribute in any way possible. And Cooley is a stud. They are at a loss without him out there.
Caraway just 3 of 6 so far. And he misses Ellison, who was open in the flat.
But hard to make a pass with your offensive lineman in your lap. Austin Smith got absolutely blown up on that play. Ended up right in Caraway's lap. And as a quarterback, hard to throw if your big guys up front are in your hips. Great job by that defensive front of Long Beach Poly. That's what this team has really been founded on. Great up front play of getting off the ball, getting penetration. And tonight, they've been very good.
Caraway, this time has time. Gets rid of it, it's caught. Garrity makes the catch, but short of the first down.
Garrity just coming out of the backfield on the simple flat route. You have a curl over the top, flat underneath. One of the oldest plays in the passing game in football.
Fourth down, Mike. What do you like here for the Grizzlies?
They're going to come back. Well, fourth and this long, they're going to have to come back with some kind of passing play. I'd like to see them go back to that double slant they threw earlier. It was pitch and catch. It's an easy read for your quarterback. You get rid of it right now. You don't have to worry about penetration. Yep, they got the offsides. They were trying to snap count them. It's the discipline that we talked about. Coach Lara said we have to be disciplined. On that play, Granite Bay showed their discipline. They held their water on a hard snap count.
Before the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalties,
Great
Mike,
job.
during your career, that was one of the things I appreciated about your game is how much emphasis you put and how many times a game you get the other team to jump offside, how important it is to use the difference in cadence to keep that defensive line honest.
As a quarterback, you can be one of your best blockers. If you can keep them hesitating at that line of scrimmage, gives your offensive lineman the edge.
Caraway, play action. And smart to get rid of it. He didn't know the defender was there, but that clock was ticking in his head. Caleb Turner was coming.
Good job rolling out, being patient, but you can hear those guys coming behind you. You can feel that. You see it coming as a quarterback. Excellent decision, especially for a high school guy. Oftentimes, guys at this level haven't had the reps. They haven't seen it happen. They tend to force the ball. But Caraway is one of those guys who's very intelligent. You know, he's a 4.0 student. He's a guy who has a lot of the Ivies coming after him. He has the schools that are looking for that intelligent player, and he is that kid. Made a great play, very intelligent football play right there as a quarterback.
Partridge, the carry on the inside between the tackles. He picks up 5 yards, bring up 3rd and 5.
Partridge is a guy who is an unsung hero for this offense at that fullback position. Last year in their sectional championship games, they ran the ball 45 times. Of those, he got 3 carries, but he was a lead blocker for 38 plays. He runs hard, he blocks hard. He is a team guy in Ernie Cooper's offense, and he is an unsung hero.
Caraway rolls out. He throws it, and it's incomplete. Stephen Graber, their big tight end at 6'5". Not a bad idea if you're Caraway to throw it down there with your big tight end.
And Graber actually became a defensive player. Watch him adjust up. Ball's thrown, he adjusts up to try to get on top of Mai Tai. But the underneath route coming across, Caraway a couple times has missed that underneath route. Instead, he's going for the deep ball. So many times when people get up in your face, when they're in front of you, it's hard to read the underneath stuff, and you tend to look downfield.
Already 1 missed field goal for Colin Brown. This one from 41 yards. This one's on target, and it is good. So the Grizzlies are on the board. Colin Brown with the field goal. And the Poly lead is now 7-3 with 3:44 to go until halftime.
Brown doing a good job this time. The first kick, he had a little bit of that state championship game jitters. This time, booted it straight down the center. Excellent job keeping his head down, driving through the ball, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. That ball was good.
We saw it in the earlier game. I know we're going to see it tomorrow night, at least in the Open Division Championship game. The kicking game in high school has improved so much since we were in high school. It's unbelievable how much better it is.
But again, it still goes from team to team. You know, Bellarmine this year had a chance to win their sectional title, to win the CCS championship, and they decided not to go for a field goal from the 5-yard line because they didn't trust their kicking game. So it all depends from team to team and what you have there. So many times, so many teams that could be championship caliber teams because the kicking game, they faltered. Special teams is a huge part of football. We saw 2 great kickers earlier. We've got a great kicker for Granite Bay. Poly, that's one of their weaknesses. They have 3 different guys that they platoon at that kicking position. They don't feel very comfortable with long field goals.
Brown to kick it off for Granite Bay. It's a short kick. And it's returned up to the 30-yard line. Thomas Tucker on the return.
At Granite Bay, with the thought of keep it away from the deep men for Poly, which I think is a pretty good idea for them. Why tempt it by kicking to their speed guys, kick it to the upbacks, make the tackle, and then play defense? Coach Cooper told me today they feel if Long Beach Poly has to make long drives, that they won't complete those drives. They have done a good job all year of limiting teams during long drives. It's the big play that worries Coach Cooper most in this game.
Wick Banks, the ball carrier. Gain of a couple. If you're just joining us, both these teams started their seasons 1-3. Each team has won 11 consecutive games to get to this Division I CIF State Division I championship game. And both teams' seasons could have gone the other way. In particular, Poly at 1-3 with all the pressure from alumni, from the expectations of their program. Coach Lara brought the entire team to the auditorium, brought administrators, and said, we've got your back. We're with you no matter what happens. And he said from that day forward, everything started to turn around for the Jackrabbits. Tiedemann will throw. It's going to be picked off. Bussey gets the interception. And the Grizzlies will have the football at the Poly 37-yard line, 18 yards on the return.
Yeah, the interesting thing as I looked at the stats for this game coming in, championship level teams are usually in the positive when it comes to takeaway turnover ratio. Long Beach Poly came into this game at -5 on the season, the takeaway turnover ratio. Just trying to run the out and up this time. And really, that is a gimme on the outside for Bussey, just standing there waiting on the pass. Excellent job in zone coverage, staying home and reading the quarterback's eyes. But Granite Bay came into this game +18. Right now, they're winning that turnover battle.
Garrity picks up a little more than 3 yards. John Cooley not in the game right now, number 5. We saw he was hurt on their last offensive series. He is still sitting on the bench for Granite Bay.
And he's a guy that's a big loss. Garrity, the backup, tailback, a very good player for this Granite Bay team as well. So not to take anything away from him, just a junior. Coach Cooper said if you have a junior and a senior, you're going to give your senior the reps.
Caraway, a pass was behind the intended target, but still caught. Well done, Stephen Graver, their big tight end, his 27th catch of the season.
Yeah, for 357 yards, but think about this, 27 catches, 11 of those have gone for touchdowns. He's the guy they like to go to in the red zone, and you can see why with such great body control for a big man. It's hard when you're running full speed forward to turn around and make a play like that behind your body, but he showed very soft hands on that play. As you see, 26 catches coming into this game tonight. That makes number 27.
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Guarantee. Loss of a couple yards on 1st down.
And that is where that wet turf comes in. As a player, if you know you're playing on wet ground where it's slippery, you have to keep your weight over your feet. As soon as you get your weight over the center of your body, off the center of your body, start getting your feet out in front of you, that's when you're going to slip. That's when your feet are going to go out from underneath you. That time, Garrity, trying to make the cut back, really leaned back into his cut. His feet came directly out from underneath him. And on a wet turf, you can't do that.
2nd and 13. Caraway, they set up the screen, and boy, they had it set up to Graver. And Caraway's upset with himself because he knows they potentially could have had a big play there.
He turned around, though, and Roman Wyatt was right in his face, 6'1", 195. And Caraway did not expect to see that gray jersey so quickly. Watch Wyatt come off the edge here. Just runs the hoop on the outside because his man was the screen man. And when Caraway turned around, he immediately had opposing pressure in his face. Hard as a quarterback when you're turning to adjust like that in the ball because you're already rotating your body out. And it makes you inaccurate. Then trying to throw over somebody makes it even tougher.
3rd and long. Caraway. Going to be brought down. Wyatt, he had a big series. He caused the incompletion on the last play and then brings down the quarterback.
Caraway right now not exactly sure how to handle the pressure that he's facing back there.
They will not go for a field goal, and they're going to go for it on 4th and long.
And coach thinking over right now, waiting for the clock to tick down.
Trying to take off as much time as possible to make sure not to leave any time left for Long Beach Poly.
Yeah, I believe they will go for the field goal. They're just trying to take the time off the clock.
Timeout, Granite Bay. 26 seconds to go till halftime, and there John Cooley is headed to the locker room.
4th and 16. This is where the speed of the Long Beach Poly really comes in. Field goal block is all about the speed. If you get that push up front, that's one thing. But coming off the edge to block a field goal is all about speed and quickness and get off. Long Beach Poly has that kind of speed that they can get off the ball and they can get that kick block. To do that right here before you're going into the locker room would be huge for Poly for momentum.
And for the Grizzlies, if they could convert the field goal, make it a one-point game, especially considering they don't have John Cooley and they haven't had him for the past couple series, to come up with points on their last 2 drives of the second quarter, give them some confidence as they head to the locker room.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely huge for Granite Bay to come up with the field goal, or knowing Coach Ernie Cooper with a big field goal, a fake field goal, and get a big play out of it and then go for the end zone on a couple plays, because if they were to get it, they could come back and still try. If they get the first down, now we're talking about a long 16
Well,
yards.
they're going for it. The kicker is not in the game, so they're going for it on 4th and 16. Play action. Caraway throwing for Graber, and it's knocked down. He was triple covered.
Well, you're in that no man's land of high school football. You know, 47-yard field goal is a long field goal to try to kick. You're too close to punt. So, you know, putting it up there for your biggest man with 20 seconds left in the game is a pretty safe bet. Caraway just trying to buy some time and put a jump ball up there for Graber. If you're going to call a play, not a bad play call in that situation.
And Graber just mistimed his jump by a hair, and he had the best chance of anybody there to bring that ball down.
Yeah, as he was running a little bit behind him on his route, so as he goes up, it was hard for him to keep both hands together. In that case, only able to get one mitt on the ball. Makes it hard to bring it in. So Long Beach Poly just going to sit on the ball here.
So Long Beach Poly will take a knee. Mike, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it's about the game I expected. 2 teams trying to pound each other with the run. Poly's speed shutting down Granite Bay on offense, and Granite Bay's discipline and toughness shutting down Long Beach Poly. If not for the one big play by Poly on the outside, the throwback pass, right now this game would be a 3-0 game. A great defensive battle so far in the first half. Both these teams playing well. The first team to break the big one in the second half may break open momentum.
Gerard Wicks, the only touchdown in the first half. He took the pitch, gives it up. The backup quarterback, Jackson, finds Wicks, and Wicks takes it for 6. The only touchdown of the first half. A little trickery from the Jackrabbits. Wicks showing great balance to stay on his feet and get into the end zone. But it has been a defensive struggle through the first 24 minutes of football in this CIF State Championship Bowl game. Coach Lara having a little conversation with the official.
Giving the officials the business. That's what you love about high school head coaches. Always giving the officials the business, trying to get the advantage, trying to get the edge. But both these teams so far, I applaud the effort. They've both played so hard. Wicks has been fantastic. You know, he's everything he's been built, but this Granite Bay defense is also very good.
Granite Bay was really flying around through the first half. They come in as the underdog. With all the history for Long Beach Poly, always expecting Long Beach Poly to be successful, but it was a great back and forth battle, a low-scoring defensive struggle in the first half. We will take a break. All kinds of good stuff coming up at the half. Do not go anywhere. Jackrabbits lead 7-3 at the half. It's halftime at the Home Depot Center. Division I title game. Long Beach Poly leads Granite Bay 7-3, and we have a feature on Long Beach Poly. Doc Moy is a longtime coach of defensive backs at Long Beach Poly and has developed a reputation as one of the top coaches in the nation at that position, and there's plenty of proof to back it up. Over 24 athletes sent to the collegiate level. Let's meet the man his players call Coach Doc.
Playing defensive back is all about technique. The back pedal, throwing your hips to run with a receiver, turning your head without losing speed, and then making a play on a ball in midair. A lot of simultaneous moving parts make it one of the toughest positions to play on a football field. The LB Poly Jackrabbits have a long history of turning out great DBs, and Doc Moy is a big reason why.
I had an injury my junior year in college, and it, I wasn't the same player afterwards after hurting my shoulder. So I felt that, if I couldn't lengthen my career on the field, I should do it off the field. And my job was coming back here was to put as many guys in the situation that I had, was able to get a scholarship. Actually, I walked on at Fresno and got a scholarship after the first year, but I knew that me coming back with my expertise, I could help guys get to that next level and help with the recruiting, know what the scouts are looking for, get them prepared, and be ready to play.
But Matt, don't come under there, though. Stay right here.
Moy joins a long list of former Jackrabbits who came home to help other kids earn a shot at a scholarship. The Poly coaching fraternity is a special and select group that also includes head coach Raul Lara.
I'm kind of blessed in a sense because when I inherited this position, there were already guys in place. Doc was already working with me as a defensive coordinator, so I already knew him. And I knew him as a player too. And so that kind of works out for us here. A lot of times our hires are guys that played before, and we have a relationship, and then they just kind of learned the Poly way. And Doc is really definitely a product of that.
Go! So what are the secrets to joining the Poly DB fraternity? We asked two of the current stars about the formula for success in the last line of defense.
It's a lot of perfection, a lot of practice. Practice makes perfect. Come to game day, if you're not practicing in practice, what do you expect to do on game day?
You gotta have sense of IQ. A lot of people can play, but it comes down to situations. How to recognize film, recognize plays, formations, players. So that really plays a big part.
The winning of the championships are always fun to be a part of, but the real payoff for Coach Moy comes when the season is long over.
On signing day is the greatest day. If I have to work at my other job, I take off just to come and see on signing day, because that's tremendous. You put in all the time and the work to set yourself up later on in the future, because most of my kids from the neighborhood, they're not able to pay for school. It's not a mystery. So the parents are joyous, and the community, it's a big experience.
Welcome back to the Home Depot Center. I'm here with Roger Blake, the Executive Director of CIF. And Roger, what a matchup we have today. Granite Bay versus Long Beach Poly, North versus South. What is your opinion on the game so far?
Everything we'd hoped for in this second game. I mean, a tight game, two great teams that struggled at the beginning of the season, have turned it around, and we're having just a great game. Kind of what you want in a state championship game. You couldn't have it any better than 7-3 right now. We're excited.
All right, well, I want to break some news right now. I know that the CIF contract with the Home Depot Center is coming up at the end of this game. So where will the next two games be following this year?
The next two seasons, we're proud to announce we'll be returning back here to the Home Depot Center in the partnership with Home Depot and AEG. This is a world-class facility. Earlier today, being on the field when the kids were walking the state, there's no one here and the teams are coming in. It's one of those moments, it's one of those priceless moments. The kids are walking in, their eyes explode, and they're just going, wow, look at this. And that's what you want for a high school championship. You want it to be a memorable, something they're going to have for the rest of their lives, win or lose, because somebody's going to walk away disappointed tonight, but you want them 10 years from now going, wow, that was really neat. This event, this center, and our partnership with you guys, with Time Warner, that really, it does. It makes it a first-class thing. This is a Super Bowl for high school kids. 98% of high school kids, their career ends at their last football game, and when that happens, that's the dream. You want them walking away, win or lose, going, yeah, I had a blast. So we're looking forward to the next 2 years back here at Home Depot Center.
You mentioned the memories that are made here tonight. Just the atmosphere has been phenomenal. What is your opinion on everything that has transpired as far as just the fan support, people coming out in the rain, showing their support for these top two teams?
It reminds all of us, especially as we get older, this is a kid's game, and it's a blast. They're having so much fun. It's raining, and we're under umbrellas, and we're trying to get under the overhangs, and the kids are having a blast. They're out there. It's what high school sports is about. It's still pure. It's still enjoyable. High school sports is what we want it to be, and this gives us an opportunity to showcase it in front of, well, with your help, in front of millions of people across the United States. So it's tremendous. We couldn't do it any better.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the game. Well, keep it right here. There is still much more to come from the Division I championship right here at the Home Depot Center right after this break.
Welcome back to the Home Depot Center. At halftime, Long Beach Poly leads Granite Bay by a score of 7-3. Aaron Wolf alongside longtime friend Mike Pulowski. And Mike, We knew that both teams had good defenses, but did you expect this kind of low-scoring game?
Well, we knew coming in both teams would try to run the ball. What we didn't expect is to see the defenses being so effective at shutting them down. Long Beach Poly with the speed, shut down by a swarming defense at Granite Bay. Granite Bay trying to run that fly sweep, shut down by the team speed of Long Beach Poly. So both teams playing to their strength, but both defenses coming up huge. Gerard Wicks being absolutely swarmed by the white of the visiting Granite Bay team. Early on, Granite Bay missing a field goal, so defense, both sides of the ball doing an exceptional job. One big trick play for Pauly coming out with the flea flicker, throw back to Wicks on the sideline, finding a way to maintain his balance. But really, that's the difference in this game. It's one big play. Second quarter, again, a lot of defense. Pauly causing the fumble. Ellison giving it up. And then Pauly coming right back and throwing an interception. Dylan Keeney in position, makes a play. A special teams guy coming up huge on defense. Granite Bay coming away with a field goal by Colin Brown to make it 7-3. And you see the first half, not a lot of passing yards, not a lot of rushing yards. What we need to see is a defensive stat. And, of course, big 2 turnovers for Long Beach Poly, which leads to that time of possession disparity. 14:45 for Granite Bay, only 9:15 for Poly. Both these teams trying to grind it out, but right now defense has been the word of the day.
It certainly has been. In Granite Bay looking to get the win and make it 2-0 for Northern California. But Long Beach Poly and their rich tradition, we'll see if they have an answer for Southern California. Second half when we come back. In the CIF Division I state championship game, Long Beach Poly leads Granite Bay 7-3 at the half. And Mike, when we look back on the first half, what was it about the Granite Bay defense that made them so effective?
They swarmed. They had guys in position to make plays. They played disciplined, assignment-oriented defense, which is important. But then once they made a play, once they got penetration, everybody swarmed to the football. You see the white jerseys getting upfield, getting around the ball. Look at all the white shirts. That's how you have to play defense if you don't have the speed on that side of the ball. Then, of course, big plays. Dylan Keeney coming up with the interception here. Playing your assignment. You can't try to be the guy that makes the huge play every time. You have to stay home, which is exactly what they did on defense. Bussey getting a big interception just by sitting at home in zone. And you look at Long Beach Poly averaging 318 yards a game. Tonight, 102 in the first half. Not up to par for what they're used to, but they're in a state championship game, and they're against the #1 D1 team in the north of California against Granite Bay. So they're facing a stiff opponent who's playing great defense and has pretty much shut down this Poly offense.
Now, for Long Beach Poly, do you think that they're going to try to really focus on running the football even more than they did in the first half? Because they threw 2 interceptions in the first half.
Well, if you look at Poly, their last 3 games, they have run 3 different schemes. So tonight we're seeing a lot of Wildcat, a lot less of Tiedemann at quarterback. I'm not sure what they're going to do coming out, and I don't think Granite Bay is either, but what they need to do is stay disciplined on defense. Poly will try to go to their athletes. They will try to go to the studs. I would be surprised if we didn't see them try to go deep and use that team speed on the outside, try to challenge the corners for Granite Bay, but they have to pound the rock. That's what they've done to get here.
Now, if John Cooley can't play for Granite Bay, and he's really the guy who runs in the middle, between the tackles, those tough yards, how will that change things for them offensively?
The beauty of the Granite Bay system is they can plug the next guy in. They've got a good player on the backside. John Cooley came out and injured his shoulder coming out. They were looking at his shoulder at halftime. They were looking at his shoulder on the bench on the sideline. But Michael Garrity has done an excellent job as a backup tailback for this Granite Bay Grizzly team. So they have people to plug in. The system works well. Cooley has been a stud, and it would be a shame for them to lose him. He is back out there on the field right now. He still has his pads on, which is a good sign, and he is warming up. So I'd expect him to come back. But again, they have guys to fill in to the system. They have talented guys to come in and make plays.
Let's check in with Drea.
Thanks, Ari. Coach, it's important to ask, how serious is the injury to John Cooley?
Yeah, a little stinger. We think he's going to come back. He took about 5 or 6 hits on that play. He kept fighting. That's why he took the hits. He's a tough kid. He'll be back.
The defense was obviously very energized with their takeaways. How do you get your offense to capitalize off of that energy and make more out of the drives when they get good field position?
Yeah, we had a feeling that we were going to get a look maybe we didn't see on film. So they've come out in a defense that they really didn't emphasize before. And we chalked it up at halftime here, and we think we have some things that'll work. And our guys were very calm, and I think we'll come out and do a good job.
All right, Coach, best of luck. Let's send it back to you, Ari and Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trey. And I like Coach's attitude there. He kind of got me a little fired up.
Yeah.
He's got his guys believing that they can come down here and beat Long Beach Poly and win their first state bowl championship game in the history of their program.
I love the fact that he says we went in there and chalked it up. Nobody's used a chalkboard for how many years? They went in on their whiteboard and they drew it up for these guys. But that's what they do. Granite Bay, very good at adjusting at halftime. And as we talked about, Coach Laura has used 3 different systems coming into this game, 3 different schemes on offense. Their offense completely changes from week to week, and on defense, he's done the same thing. He's changed the scheme that they use defensively. So Coach Cooper said, what are we going to do? We're going to go mad scientist in the locker room. Let's draw something up, figure out how to beat it, and we'll take it. We're seeing him rotate down a lot. We're seeing him come out in that 3-4 front rather than the 4-3 that they have listed. So Granite Bay trying to find a way to attack that 3-4 now on offense.
I like it. I like it when coaches have the ability to truly make adjustments. I think it's one of the most talked about things is adjustments at the half, because I feel like a lot of coaches don't really do a great job of making adjustments at half. It takes a special coach to be like, okay, this isn't what we thought was going to happen, and we're going to have to change what we're doing. And if you can do it on the fly at the half, that says a lot about your ability to handle X's and O's in game.
The trick is to be able to change 10% of what you're doing. And it's not to change anything from what you have. It's not like you're throwing anything new. You say, okay, when we get this formation, here's the look we're going to get. Say, for instance, Granite Bay motions across, and I was talking about it earlier, when they rotate down that coverage, okay, it's a look that we weren't expecting to see. How do we attack it? Well, if you get 3 deep like that, they rotate down, you run verticals. Run 4 verticals and hit the seams. If they can sting Pauly that way in a couple times, they can get them right back into what they game plan for and then attack them with the game plan they set up. So you need to win 10% of the time on offense. You need to change them out of what they're doing, and that's what Granite Bay is going to try to do on offense as they get the ball here first in the second half.
Matthew Maitai will kick it off for the Jackrabbits. Ellison and Partridge are deep for the Grizzlies.
I love the hair for Maitai. He's got that whole predator look going on back there. He's a kicker. He's a defensive back. He's got the braids coming out. That looks like a football player to me.
Now, he looks like a guy who wants to hit somebody. You often see a guy who looks like that about ready to kick off.
And wants to hit him hard.
Partridge from his own 15. And he cuts it up. Here the ball came out, but recovered by Granite Bay. Guy in the right place at the right time, Clint Ellenwood. So that would have been a disastrous way to start the second half for the Grizzlies.
Partridge taking a huge shot. Great job of covering that ball up, but it still came out, had 2 hands on the ball. But Ellenwood, another fullback, right in position to make the recovery.
So here comes Grant Caraway and the Grizzly offense. On the ground, it's Cooley, so that's very good news for Grizzly fans. John Cooley, who was hurt in the first half, didn't play towards the end of the second quarter, but out there to start the third quarter.
And remember I talked about the stinger. Coach Cooper said it's a stinger. What happens is you stretch a nerve, it burns down your arm, it hurts. You think that somebody has stuck a hot poker in that arm and in that shoulder, but it also goes away. And once it goes away, you're good to play again. There's no risk of further injury, which is what they were evaluating. He's back in the game and he's ready to go.
2nd and 8. Caraway wants to throw, gets it to Graber, the tight end. They've been trying to get Graber involved. And Graber makes the catch, his second catch of the game. 16 yards on the play for Graber.
And that's twice now they've come back with that quick tight end pop. They know that they can exploit the aggressiveness of that Pauly defense, get them to react up to run, turn around and hit that pop. You can expect to see it about 2 more times this half.
Partridge, the ball carrier, and he stood up quickly. No place to go. Caleb Turner, the middle linebacker, did a very nice job there. There you see Turner, number 5.
This is just going to be a smash mouth game of football in the second half. what's going to win it is that team that can hit the home run. The big play like Pauly did in the first half. Granite Bay has not hit that play. They need to find a time where they can hit that over-the-top home run.
John Smith is not out there for Long Beach Poly. They're tremendous safety. He's also a very good wide receiver. Caraway to throw. And he led his receiver, Ty Cerna, makes the catch.
What a catch on the outside by Cerna. Caraway, play action, rolling. What a job by Cerna of getting his arm underneath that football, laying out for it, and making a huge play in traffic on the outside.
Caraway now 8 of 13 for 60 yards.
And he was injured early on. He injured his ankle early in the season. Just recently, he's gotten back to form. And Coach Cooper said that brings the X plays. He's the X receiver back into the game.
John Cooley, the ball carrier, picks up 3 yards.
Actually, that was a fly sweep. That was Ellison there coming across. With this system, there's so many inside handoffs, so many fakes going off. That's the whole point of the offense, is to try to mislead, misdirect. It's a version off of the wing T. The fly sweep came off of that single wing T look, and it's a misdirection play. You're trying to get one guy to go the wrong way and take advantage.
Caraway wants to throw, and Cerna drops it, or he might still be running.
As good as that first catch was for Cerna, and that's how it happens. This catch was poor, because when you have to concentrate, that first catch he's laying out, he has to concentrate. This time he's thinking, I'm taking it to the house. And instead, he takes his eye off the ball and tries to keep running. When you lose concentration, that's when you drop the ball. Cerna usually very sure-handed. You see 19 receptions coming into the game tonight. Usually a sure-handed receiver, just lost concentration on that one.
It's a lateral to Ellison, and he gets hit hard and knocked out of bounds. Marshall, the corner, comes up with a big hit.
And Marshall, just a sophomore at that corner position. The quick swing pass on the bubble to the outside. Ellison doing a nice job of escaping one tackle. But Marshall flying up with bad intentions and knocks Ellison directly backwards.
The Grizzlies come to the line of scrimmage, and so they're going to go for it on 4th down. Caraway in trouble. Gets it to Graber, and Graber has enough for the first down, so they convert on 4th down. And Graber is becoming a big part of the offensive story for the Grizzlies. 13 yards for the big tight end.
Huge play by Caraway. Watch foul. Gets through absolutely clean. Caraway buys time and finds Graber. And what a great target to have as a quarterback. A tall tight end who stands out, a big guy with good hands across the middle, who can take a beating. Exactly the kind of guy you want to look for when you're in trouble. Graber has come up huge. We've seen the pop pass a couple times. They went for him on the deep ball. They're finding a way to get the ball in his hands. Remember, Coach Cooper said they drew it up at halftime about what they were going to do to attack this defense. Graber is a part of that scheme.
A timeout on the field right now, and the tight end also could become a bigger factor because the Jackrabbits are missing John Smith, and he's a really valuable defender back there. He's been replaced by Jordan Davidson.
Yeah, he plays that safety position, and without John Smith in there to cover the tight end, it makes him much tougher for this Long Beach Poly defense to lock down that tight end.
Let's check in with Drea.
Well, Ari, you and Mike were talking about Poly's John Smith, and I just talked to Poly's athletic trainer, and she said that he has a shoulder injury and he's questionable to return. So that's the update on that.
Thank you, Drea. Granite Bay uses a timeout.
Granite Bay, first charge time.
Certainly not a time when you want to use a timeout coming off an official timeout, but one of the things we noticed in the first half stats, Mike, was time of possession, and here we are in the third quarter. Granite Bay already dominated time of possession in the first half, and they've had the ball here through the first 4 minutes and 5 seconds of the third quarter.
Trying to control the clock. Coach Cooper fired up right now, but he's got to get his team settled down.
We will take a break. Good looking drive for the Grizzlies. They've got 1st and 10 deep in Jackrabbit territory. Welcome back to the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. CIF Division I State Championship Bowl game. Granite Bay listening into their head coach, Ernie Cooper, the only head coach they've ever had there in his 16th year, 164 wins. There's Coach Lara for Long Beach Poly. He only knows Poly football, played there and coached there. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Cooley, and no place to go. Stood up at the line of scrimmage.
An absolute sea of gray jerseys in there from Long Beach Poly. Just packing the line of scrimmage. Watch all the gray jerseys reacting up, filling the hole.
Look at Jason Fowl.
Jason Fowl, hard to block. Considered the best lineman both ways for this Poly team. He is a load on the inside.
Coach Lara told us, yeah, he's going to be heavily recruited, just a junior.
Yeah, 6'1", 250.
They go with the quick hitter between the tackles. It's John Cooley. 3rd down coming up.
Just that counter play on the inside. Finding a way to get that seam, get the gap. Granite Bay would be very happy breaking off 3-4 yards of play. They don't need the huge long plays, the big plays, the home run plays, but to control the clock, to keep it out of the hands of Long Beach Poly is one of the goals Coach Cooper had coming into this game.
They've been very effective at keeping the Jackrabbit offense on the sideline. Caraway, pump fake, going to Cerna, can't get to it. All right, do you go for the 3 here, Mike, or do you go for it again on 4th down? They've already converted once on 4th down.
Your kicker's already shown that he can make this. You go for the field goal. Get the points on the board. And Cerna getting tied up out there with Eamon Marshall. And Marshall is a guy who Coach Lara told us is a lockdown corner. Just a sophomore, but a very physical player out there. 6'1", 175. He can play in position. He has the tools to play the job. And that time he was right there where he needed to be.
Colin Brown is 1 for 2 on field goal attempts. He's converted from 41 yards. This is from 37. And the kick is up, and it is good. And we've got ourselves a 1-point game. Nice time-consuming drive by the Grizzlies. Our score 7-6. We'll take a look at the Poly offense when we come back. Seven to 6 the score. 6:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. Grizzlies take more than 5.5 minutes off the clock in the 3rd quarter, and it's been a long time since the Jackrabbit offense has gotten on the field. Be curious to see what adjustments they've made for the 2nd half.
Well, we've seen several different styles out of this game. They've switched styles 3 times coming in, switch whole scheme. So, you know, that big Wildcat heavy package in the backfield is one look that we've seen. I expect them to get Ty on the Tiedemann on the field a little more. You see Cooley sitting on the sideline right now. Obviously his shoulder not feeling great. Coach is talking to him, trying to figure out, can you go or can you not go? Our trainers when I was at Cal used to always say, Bob Orr, who I love to death, you know, was a fantastic trainer, would say, are you hurt or injured? Are you injured? Because if you're hurt, you can still play. But if you're injured, we got to hold you out.
Again, the short kick. It'll be Wicks. And Wicks, 2 guys combined for the tackle at the 22-yard line. Clint Ellenwood, one of the guys coming in there.
Ellenwood wrapped him up, and Dylan Keeney with a huge tackle, great form tackle over the top. Again, team coverage, team tackling. That's what Granite Bay has done so far tonight. I have to think Long Beach Poly is going to try to exploit some of the speed advantage they have on the outside. They haven't really gone for the deep ball, and I would expect to see it sooner or later in this game.
Tiedemann under center. Luga the tailback. The give is to Luga. And Luga picks up 3 before he's sent backwards by Tyler Arneson. Arneson, the emotional leader of the team. He's the guy who actually addresses the team before games.
Gets out there, jumps around, gets the team going. You have to have those guys. If you want to have a championship caliber team, you have to have the emotional leaders, the guys that are going to direct your team, that they are going to follow. And each of these teams has their guys that does that.
Wicks trying to get to the outside. He'll be wrapped up. Tony Milo, number 42, outside linebacker. Mike, it says on the scoreboard that Long Beach Poly's winning, but why does it feel like Granite Bay right now is in control of the game?
Their defense has been so very good. They've been chipping away. They haven't been able to get in the end zone. But there's an old saying as a quarterback, I used to disagree with it entirely, but now being a more mature ex-football player, I understand it. Defense wins championships. And when your defense is performing well, that is what dictates games.
Tideman will throw. A flag is down. Very nice ball as he completes it.
Yeah, Stephen
Derrick makes the catch, but hold on, there is a flag down.
Ineligible downfield.
Coach Lord, tell him, give me a number. Tell me who it was. Great ball that time by Tiedemann. He throws that deep hook as well as any quarterback I've seen in high school. He can drill it. For a guy that could barely fill out his pads as a sophomore, he can rope the ball.
When he sets his feet, it comes out, it looks pretty good.
As he grows up, okay, he's in the stage right now. He is just hitting the stage where he's going to put on muscle, where he's going to put on mass. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get bigger. He's already got quick feet. He has the potential to grow into a very good quarterback in this Poly system.
So it's now 3rd down, 15 yards to go. Should probably maybe consider that exact same play they just ran, just have the receiver go a little further downfield. Long Beach Poly on the night, 4 penalties for 25 yards. Tideman will throw, and it's picked off. Keeney takes it for the touchdown. Dylan Keeney, Grizzlies lead for the first time.
Very fitting that in the game where defenses have dictated, they come out and make the huge play that makes the difference, and very fitting that Keeney is the guy to do it. This is all about film study. Keeney stayed home. He knew what to expect the second time. His first interception was from film study. This one, he knew exactly where Tiedemann was going to go with that ball. He baited him. He sat on the route, and then he accelerated at the perfect time to make the interception. Very smart football player. Dylan Keeney has been the special teams MVP all year long. This time, he comes up huge on defense with 2 interceptions tonight.
30-yard interception return for the touchdown. A lot of happy Grizzlies on that sideline. Keeney's a big boy.
Defense stepping up again. So watch Keeney. He is right here. He is going to drop into coverage. You have an out route coming from underneath, a go route, then something else on the backside. Keeney's going to sit on it. Go ahead and roll it. Now freeze it right here. Keeney is going to come. He is sitting back here baiting. As soon as this ball is thrown, he is going to drive in front of the receiver. Go ahead. Excellent job of baiting, sitting back, convincing the quarterback he can make the throw, and then reacting up and making a play.
That's now 3 interceptions thrown by Long Beach Poly.
1 thrown by a running back, so that's something completely different. Look at the interception.
I just think that the one thing that we thought we were going to see from them is a better job in the running game, an ability to win off the ball. But their offensive line has not been able to dominate. Grizzlies will go for 2 here to try to go up 7.
And I talked about it. They were -5 coming into this game. You know, they weren't a great team at holding on to the ball. So Granite Bay trying to even up the score here.
2-point conversion is good for Partridge. And it's 14-7 Granite Bay.
Puts them back at a touchdown differential rather than a 6-point differential. Good call by Coach Cooper. You know, they have these charts that tell you when you go for 2 and when you don't go for 2. That was an obvious time to go for 2. Put yourself back into a touchdown spread.
Be curious to see how Long Beach Poly reacts to this, because this is a team that always believes that they have more talent, they have more speed, that they are going to be the most athletic team out there. But we're deep into the third quarter in a championship game, and they've been hit hard.
It's also a team that dealt with adversity early on, though, so they know how to deal with adversity. They're a team that knows how to deal with getting punched in the mouth. They've come back a lot this year. Something that would hurt them right now, an onside kick. This would be the perfect time for Granite Bay to go for the onside kick. If they recover it, then they could really swing momentum in their favor.
I like the aggressive thinking from Mike Pulaski, thinking onside kick up 7. I don't think Coach Cooper's with you, but they have been kicking it relatively short. They've been trying to keep Long Beach Poly from any kind of a big return. Colin Brown to kick it off. Be another high short kick. And let's go downstairs and check in with Drea.
Well, Ari, that Granite Bay pick 6 really changed the vibe here on the Poly sidelines. Before that, guys were loose, they were confident. Even one player broke out in a little impromptu rap, so they were very relaxed. But after that, you noticed that they had their heads down. Guys were visibly frustrated, saying, we have to play better. We need to get back to playing, quote, the Poly way to get back in this game, guys.
Thank you, Drea.
The Poly way is such an amorphous thing. You know, it's a belief system. The great teams, the Alabamas, the USCs, the teams that have a history of winning have the spirit. But it goes back to what you were saying, Wolf, is that if you're not used to being on the other end of it, then how do you react? We'll see the character of this team here in the final game of the season.
Luga. And Luga spins forward for a gain of 7. I thought we'd see a lot more of this.
Yes.
Just run the ball, try to get first downs by going second and short, keep running the ball. They've really struggled with passing the football. I would think they'd go back to the basics and do what they do best, and that's run the ball.
And it's a wonder of how they have not been doing this. You know, you get away from what you do. Use your talent, use your speed to the outside. Don't come up with something new to use your speed. Let your speed capitalize on itself. Run the football, hit it hard, and run fast, and use your guys that are your jackrabbits.
Flag on the play. Here's the call.
We have illegal participation. 12 men on the field offense. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
A lot of mistakes for Poly tonight.
Again, discipline. One of those things Coach Lara said they needed to have coming into this game. They've had penalties. They've had turnovers. Those speak to not having the discipline in tonight's game. Sometimes the very talented teams can get away with that stuff because they have speed. They have something else. You know, I did the NCS championship game with De La Salle and James Logan. And De La Salle, although they got penalized several times, they just continue to come back. They pounded it. They'd get a penalty, and they'd come back, and they'd gain 10, 11 yards in the next play. Poly's got the penalties, but they haven't been able to overcome their own mistakes.
They've only had one big play offensively in the entire game. Luga is the tailback. Tiedemann under center. And Luga can't get to the outside. Gain of 3. Hirschberger. He's got pretty good wheels for a big guy.
Yeah, he's a guy that you're not going to say is a super speed guy right here in this position, playing off 2 blocks. And then he finds a way to get into the play at the end. He keeps coming. He's like the Energizer Bunny.
Luga again. And Luga gets smothered. Conan, number 40, the middle linebacker. 3rd and long for the Jackrabbits.
This Granite Bay defense has been so very impressive. Tight end, big number 15 for Pauley, Vincent Mindoro, coming off the field, holding his hand. You know, those big guys in there getting their hands smashed between face masks all the time. When I was playing safety in high school as a safety and a quarterback,
and I would oftentimes go to make a tackle, and your hand would get caught in between helmets. Can't tell you how much that hurts, especially when it's cold. Luckily, though, you can always come back from those things. It just smarts while it happens.
John Smith is back in the game. He's the middle receiver to the bottom of your screen. Blitz is coming. Tiedemann off his back foot, throws it up, and it's caught. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Wicks makes the catch. That ball was up in the air forever. And it was a perfectly timed ball from Tiedemann.
Under pressure, Evan Jackson actually back there at that quarterback position. And they got a mismatch on the outside. They had Mason Conan, who's an inside linebacker, try to play man against Wicks, who is clearly the faster athlete. And Conan was doing everything he could to try to hang on there. But Wicks just outran him to that ball in a well-delivered pass by Jackson.
24 yards on the play. Luga was lined up in the Wildcat.
Before the snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Another penalty for Pauly.
Yeah, I think we got to go away from calling this the Wildcat, because the Wildcat is just generally a running back in the position than a normal tailback back there. You have 3 guys back here that are all big body, 50 numbers guys, and then 6 big linemen across the front. I think we should call this the herd of rhinos set, because these are all big boys across the backfield trying to lead block out there.
It's the biggest jumbo package I've ever seen. First and 15. Luga in the shotgun. And Luga picks up 3 yards. Coming up on 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Granite Bay just doing an excellent job of adapting to everything they are seeing out there. You know, big Jason Fow in the backfield as a fullback in that full Rhino Cat package. That's a lot of beef to try to block.
Now it's Wicks in the shotgun. Now check that, he's behind center. Jackson to throw it, and it's caught by Tucker. Well, Tucker makes the catch. Jackson has been the more effective of the 2 quarterbacks used tonight by Pauly.
Throws a nice ball on the outside, has good feet, good delivery. Tucker, again, running a very nice out route. He's a good technical route runner on the outside. That speed cut is polished at the college level. I've seen some guys at that level that cannot run the out cut as well as Tucker does on the outside. So a nice target to have as a guy to throw to.
Jackson under center, 3rd and short. It's Wicks, and Wicks gets the first down. Gerard Wicks gets the first down. Forced out of bounds. Castonguay, senior, safety.
And Wicks made this all on his own. He comes inside as a host of white jerseys. Instead, he bounces it to the outside, and you can see the speed, just better acceleration than that Granite Bay defense. This is what I was talking about with the superior speed on this Pauly team. They have faster players, but Wicks just 9 carries for 62 yards so far tonight. They need to use him more and try to get wide with him.
Luga cuts it back. Picks up 2 yards on first down.
Again, a whole host of white jerseys around the ball. You got Milo, you got Conan in there. You've got all these white jerseys swarming, surrounding, coming to the ball, making the play, and doing such an effective job at stopping 2 very potent running backs for this Jackrabbit offense.
And Jackson stays in there at quarterback. Jackson throwing the football is a perfect 3 for 3 for 72 yards and a touchdown. Jackson in the shotgun. Double pass set up.
That's illegal.
It's illegal, and it is caught, but there's a flag down. This will be a short celebration because it was two forward passes.
It's designed to be a lateral, but the receiver did not make the play. That ball has to be thrown backwards.
An illegal forward pass. That would have been the second trick play to work perfectly.
So in order for this play to work, your receiver has to come back so that the ball is thrown backwards, making it a lateral. Instead, go ahead and roll it. Freeze it here. This ball going downhill makes it a forward pass. Once he does that, you cannot throw a second forward pass. And there's
the play. Illegal forward pass, 2 forward passes, loss of down, 3rd down.
That's what I was about to say. 2 illegal forward passes. One's fine. The second one makes it illegal. But a nice ball by Wicks up the outside. He's shown a good arm tonight.
Now 7 penalties for 45 yards for Pauly.
That is football right there. Slobber knocker. Guys getting bloody lips. I like it.
They'll hand it off on 3rd and long. Luga gets the first down. The drive continues for Pauly. Even with all the penalties, they're still making progress.
That's what I was talking about earlier. If you do get penalized, you need to make it up. You need to gain the big yards when you come back. Great job. Look at the hole right here in the middle. Big split. Great job of blocking, allowing that gap. As an offensive lineman, what you do is you overset to one side or the other. If you want to clear the hole in the center, you overset to the inside. You invite that outside rush by the defensive lineman. Pauly doing a great job that time, and then Luga taking advantage, finding the hole and accelerating through it.
It's scary when his helmet falls off.
Tell me that's not some contact down there. Guys just knocking heads.
They're going to like him at Navy. That's where Luga's committed to. Jackson going for it all to the end zone.
Wow.
Caught. Touchdown, Pauly. John Smith. 28 yards.
Double coverage against that nickel package by Granite Bay. Grant Bowers was right there. Nick Grace was also right there. We saw that nice tight spiral by Jackson, just throwing it up, giving his man John Smith, and that will tell you what they have been missing in the first half when John Smith was not in there. That is the kind of talent that he brings. You see that left eye swollen, but a great job locating and catching that ball.
The extra point is up and good. So Jackson at quarterback is now 4 for 4, Mike, for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Stepping in, throwing into double coverage, but having the faith in John Smith. Just a junior. Look at him. Guys hanging off him. Still has the concentration to find that ball. And what I love is he looked it all the way in to the tuck. Great job by Smith of reeling that ball in and making a huge play for his team.
And that throw was perfect.
I mean, it couldn't have been any better. In double coverage, you could not have put that ball in a better spot.
I think Pauly has an easy decision. Jackson's going to stay at quarterback for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think Jackson stays in, and I think you get the ball to Smith as often as possible. I told you, I expected to see them go up top and try to use that speed advantage they have, the athletic advantage they have on the outside. That time they did it, and Jackson has been very good at that quarterback position. Very efficient, 4 for 4 for 102 tugs. That's a pretty good quarterback rating.
So now it's gut check time for Granite Bay. There's nothing like the emotion of high school football. It's just different than college or the NFL.
It's so passionate. These guys are just playing for the love of the game. Remember, nobody's getting paid out here. They're
no one's getting a scholarship, nothing.
I mean, these guys are going to play on. Obviously, they want to get the scholarship. But out here, they are playing for their teammates. They are playing for the love of the game. And that is the beauty of high school football.
Whistle before the kick.
I don't think they had blown it ready for play.
My Ty said he was ready. We can go ahead and start this thing.
This Pauley team fired up right now. I love My Ty's approach to the ball. He takes the longest strides I've ever seen on a kicker in the run-up. The beauty of the high school kicking game.
Game tied at 14, just 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. CIF State Division I Championship Bowl game. Granite Bay representing Northern California, Long Beach Poly representing Southern California.
Here's the other beauty. How many kickers do you see that wear a spat on their kicking foot? Not a very common thing. The spat being that ankle taping where you tape the shoe on.
Partridge on the return. Partridge, he's got a couple of blocks. And Partridge into Jackrabbit territory.
What a huge hit by Griffin Powers. 6'3", 205. Absolutely lowered the boom on Matthew My Ty. Wow, watch this coming from behind. My Ty will just fly through your screen. Oh, here it is. Here it's coming up. My Ty will literally be taken off of his feet right here. Boom. I mean, decleater. Even with the spat on, My Ty was decleated on that play.
Well, hopefully My Ty's okay. That was some hit.
These are ugly. Watch the bottom of your screen here. They always tell players to play with your head on a swivel. Oh, those hurt.
Good news, My Ty up on his own, running to the sideline.
I think that was on the ground more out of shock than pain. And look at the big old smile. Those are the highlight hits that you get the tape of and you save for later on. When your kid's acting up, you tell them, hey, you see this?
I'll do this to you.
Keep it up. I will do this when you're not looking. My Ty, tough guy, getting up, running off, but those will take the wind right out of you.
Caraway play action. Partridge makes the catch, and Partridge has enough for a first down. David Price in on the tackle. What a championship game we've got for you. 3 quarters complete at the Home Depot Center. Nothing has been decided just yet. 2 great teams going toe-to-toe. There have been some monster hits. Some big plays, including this one. Keeney, the 30-yard pick 6 to put Granite Bay in front. But back come the Jackrabbits. Jackson to Smith. Beautiful throw and catch. Game tied at 14. Fourth quarter coming up.
Monday.
Welcome back to the CIF State Division I Championship Bowl game. Granite Bay representing Northern California, Long Beach Poly, Southern California. My name is Ari Wolf alongside Mike Pulowski. Drea Avent is down on the field. And let's recap this game, Mike. It's been a good one.
Yeah, the big play off the flea picker for Long Beach Poly to start it off. Gerard Wicks getting the first handoff and then getting the touchdown. Granite Bay coming back with 2 big field goals. Colin Brown, the leading scorer, one in the second quarter and coming back in the third with a light rain coming down. And then defense, which Granite Bay had been doing all game long. Dylan Keeney coming up huge with the interception and the return for a pick 6. But then Long Beach Poly getting their big playmaker, John Smith, back in the game. Here's a kid that has so much talent on the outside. He just got moved to strong safety this year, and the very first practice he was at strong safety, San Jose State was down at practice for Long Beach Poly, and they told Coach Lauer, we're going to offer him today. He said, that's funny. This is his very first day ever playing safety for this team. So the kid with so much talent that when he is not on the field for Long Beach Poly.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, a 5-yard penalty, first down.
When John Smith is not on the field for Long Beach Poly, he is definitely missed. You can feel his absence.
Grant Caraway, quarterback for Granite Bay, 10 of 17 for 83 yards. He has managed the game pretty nicely. Cooley is in the game. He's got the football and upended in the backfield.
Pauley bringing the big pressure dog. Number 30, Roman Wyatt, coming through. Watch him react up late. He gets penetration right here. And again, penetration on defense will hurt you every time. Great job of keeping composure even as he was going down and making a tackle. He ran himself right into the play and was able to finish. Excellent job getting inside, getting that penetration for that Jackrabbit defense.
Second down, 18 yards to go. Caraway. They're setting up the screen. Partridge has got it. Nicely defended, though. Ended up only being a gain of 2 yards for Granite Bay when it looked initially like they might have it set up nicely.
That's what happens when you get the fullbacks the ball in space. They're not very good. They want to get hit hard. He actually had the blocking set up to the outside. Great job by Caraway setting it up, drawing the rush. Freezer here. Watch, he's got the outside line. Instead, he chooses to go inside. All these gray jerseys are back there to stop him. He follows his blocking. He gets a few extra yards. Instead, he runs right to get tackled. Fullbacks love contact. That's what they do. They love to hit. That time, Partridge reading the wrong block, coming inside. Gaining 3 where he could have gained 8.
Not sure why there's a stoppage right now. Either team called timeout.
That is what a fullback should look like. He's got the Band-Aid across the bridge of his nose. He's got the blood coming out.
Fans are having a great time here at the Home Depot Center.
That's probably what your timeout was for right there. Remember, any player bleeding, you have to take him off the field.
Third and long. They've gone to the tight end in this situation. Caraway, he's got an open receiver. Does he hold on? No. Cerna almost had it.
And Cerna wants the catch. He definitely got his gloves on it. In the air. On the post route behind. He's got it there. But the ball does hit the ground. Good call by the official. No catch. What an effort by Cerna to lay out for that ball, though. Yeah, see, he lost control of it when it hit the ground. Good call by the official. You have to show control. And again, no man's land for this Granite Bay offense. They're going to go for it once again.
4th and 16.
And Coach Cooper just beside himself.
That's their second timeout they've used in the second half, so they have just 1 remaining.
And the second timeout they've used for alignment problems. We talked about the discipline. Now Granite Bay showing a little bit of a lack of discipline in terms of alignment. If you're going to go for it on a 4th and long play like this, you have to be set when you come off the sideline and know what your assignment is and execute.
Clock stopped here with 10:36 to go in the 4th quarter. Both these teams riding 11-game winning streaks. Both of them were 1 and 3. And here they are playing for the state championship in Division I. Keep in mind, tomorrow we will have a triple header for you. Division III will start out today, then Division II, and then the Open Division will be in prime time at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. De La Salle representing Northern California, and Corona Centennial representing Southern California.
And 2 of the marquee programs. Really, De La Salle is the pinnacle. They are. They've just been the best team in high school football for the last 20 years under Bob Ladouceur. They've been so good. They are what every high school team aspires to be, and Centennial has been phenomenal down here for the past decade under Coach Matt Logan. They've been so very good.
Grant Caraway now back to punt. They're going to try to pin Pauley deep. Nobody is back deep awaiting the punt. The ball out of bounds at the 9-yard line, and that's where the Jackrabbits will start out. 29-yard punt, no return. Game tied at 14.
At Les Schwab, along with great...
All 5 championship bowl games taking place here at the Home Depot Center. Earlier today, Central Catholic all over Santa Fe Christian, 66-7. Our game currently in progress, Granite Bay and Long Beach Poly. And then tomorrow, kickoff at noon, Division III, Marin Catholic against Madison. Then at 4 o'clock, Division II, Oakdale takes on Sarah. And then at 8 o'clock in the Open Division, De La Salle and Centennial.
And what a great weekend. If you are a high school football fan, you have to love state championship weekend, because it is all high school football all the time. And you get to see some of the great names that you're going to be watching in college for the next several years.
Well, for Long Beach Poly, there's so many great guys. Mark Carrier, Willie McGinnis, the list goes on and on. Luga on the carry, and Luga still on his feet. Luga all the way up to the 43-yard line. 35 yards on the carry.
Granite Bay chose to punt, trying to pin Long Beach Poly. One play just negated the whole punt and then some. Nice play by Luga to create his own hole and to weave downfield, making those Granite Bay tacklers miss. So strong. Look at the thick legs. Big leg drive by Manu. Excellent play of creating space for himself.
Luga now over 100 yards on 11 carries. Wicks in the game. And Wicks going to get stopped at midfield. Mason Conan, the middle linebacker. Number 40, able to come in and make the stop.
And Poly's starting to open some of those holes that we have not seen them open all night long. That Granite Bay defense has been there, has been reactive, has been on the spot. But now Poly gashing them, finding some big seams.
Long Beach Poly just got a sideline warning, Mike. The referee went over and said, you guys got to stay off the field. I think things are getting so emotional. The coaching staff and the players are too close.
And it was funny. I was over there talking to Coach Lara before the game when the official came up and said, hey, the first time, we're just going to give you a sideline warning. So he let them know. This was all discussed before the game. Coach Lara knows it. He's telling his team right now. He's addressing it. His coaches are addressing it. That's part of the emotion of high school football. These guys getting out there. They're loving it. They're passionate. They're into it. They forget about the little things.
Luga back at a tailback. He'll take the pitch. And Luga gets hit, still fighting, and gets just into Grizzly territory to the 49-yard line. Griffin Powers with the tackle.
But again, Aaron Knapp, we haven't said his name a lot tonight since that first series, flying up, making the initial contact in the backfield, reacting to the ball. Excellent pursuit by that Granite Bay defense to get there. Remember, Poly, the team with more team speed overall, but Granite Bay as a defense, their pursuit has been relentless.
John Smith is in the game for Poly, number 9. He had the touchdown catch. He's lined up in the right slot at the top of your screen.
They're having a serious discussion with that receiver position. There's something going on in the pass game.
Before the play,
Coach Lara, he was jumping around trying to call timeout for the official. And now you see him talking to his players. Talking to Yvonne Jackson, making sure that they're in the right alignment. He did not like what he saw.
Now this is new for me, Mike, to see the head coach literally in the middle of the field huddling up with his guys.
In the huddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you don't see very often.
I think that's a first for me. But this way he's going to make sure to get his message across.
Oh, they're going to hear him. There's no doubt about that. I got your backs. You better give me your eyes.
Yes. 8:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Game tied at 14. Big momentum shifts in this game. And for a while, it really felt like Granite Bay had the emotional control of the game, even when they were losing, because of what they were doing defensively. But Long Beach Poly, their ability to make the big play, it just changes the emotion so quickly.
And remember also the loss of discipline on Granite Bay, coming back out, having to call those 2 cheap timeouts. Little things like that
makes it feel like it's kind of slipping from you. Granite Bay, or Poly, getting back in the game with some big plays. You know, this Granite Bay team has been fighting, scratching, kicking. They are physically outmatched. There's no doubt about that. This Poly team, athletically, they have more athleticism. Granite Bay has been doing it through heart and through discipline and through consistency. They need to get back on top of the game. They cannot let this get out in front of them.
John Smith at the top of the screen, number 9. But Jackson comes the other way, and that ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Smith got his hands on the football, and now it's decision time for the Jackrabbits, and it appears they will punt.
Huge play by Cameron Smith to get penetration and then to get tall. If you're not going to get to the quarterback, you need to block the passing lane. Cameron Smith coming up big for that Granite Bay defense.
Wicks is on to punt. Knapp is back deep to return. High snap. Wicks made a great play to get the football, and a pretty good punt too.
Wow.
That's an all-around phenomenal play from Gerard Wicks.
First to make the grab, one-handed on the snap. That snap was coming back there hot too, boy. Watch how fast this is coming back. He's only 10 yards deep, and it is high and hard for him to grab it and then make the kick. He was just trying to get it out. I mean, there was nothing else behind that besides get this kick off. But because of the angle that he was kicking, he got the perfect coffin corner kick and pinned Granite Bay back at their own 4-yard line.
45 yards on the punt.
And this is where that Long Beach Poly defense has to turn it up. Right now is when you loose the hounds. Bring the dogs, the blitzes, send pressure. Do something to disrupt Granite Bay. Get them off their game.
Caraway under center. They'll keep it simple. 2 yards on first down. Don't want to take any chances. John Cooley, the ball carrier. Cooley leads the team in every rushing category. Who was banged up earlier. He's a sure-handed ball carrier. Because all they really want to do right now, even if they don't pick up a first down, you got to avoid mistakes back here.
Oh, absolutely. Right now, they just got themselves breathing room. Once you get outside of the 5-yard line, you don't have to worry about your punt safe team anymore, which is when you bring it in, pack it tight, and just try to get the kickoff. Now they can bring a normal punt team in if they get stopped. Now they're going for the sticks.
Ellison on the fly sweep, and Ellison
stripped,
loses the football, recovered by Poly. There is a flag down. But if the play stands, it'll be Poly football at the 21-yard line.
Great job
on the play holding offense. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play, fumble, first down.
Great job in stripping that ball out. Now that's the second time tonight that Tony Ellison has had that ball stripped out. Got good yardage, great burst of speed around the outside. But watch number 21 just reach back inside. David Price reaches back inside and knocks that ball out. Great job of ball hawking. And Ellison has to tuck that ball away. 5 points of contact on the football. Ball security, so important. LeJay Kelly ending up with the recovery for Long Beach Poly. We get the Rhino Cat back in the game.
And this monster jumbo formation. Luga just drops the football. And now he's in big trouble. Big loss on the play. And again, the ball is wet. I mean, there's been a steady amount of precipitation throughout the game. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make the ball wet and the ground wet.
Yeah, ground's wet, the turf, it's not normal grass, so it's not going to drain off like that. It's going to stay on the plastic, on the rubber, and the turf.
5 turnovers in the game now. 2 for Granite Bay, 3 for Long Beach Poly. Jackson in the shotgun. Jackson throws, and it's tipped twice and picked off. Aaron Knapp with the interception. Just like that, the Grizzlies get it back. That was a heck of a tip drill.
Aaron Knapp coming into this game had 5 interceptions. He is the ball hawking safety for this team. And when they needed a big play,
He makes the final catch. Great job in coverage by Granite Bay. Keeney falling off underneath. And how much does that height, that length, help him out?
Have a 6'5" linebacker back there in coverage.
But a guy who can accelerate and stretch like that and get those long arms out there. What a play.
They get it out to the 5-yard line.
Does it seem like Groundhog Day? Because we were just down here a second ago before the turnover.
You know what I love about this, the Aaron Knapp story is the Cal baseball coach, and he's going to Cal to play baseball. The Cal baseball coach, when asked whether or not he should keep playing football, said, go ahead and play.
Said, absolutely. High school football was some of my most fun. David Esker, a fantastic guy, fantastic coach. Did a great job with the Cal baseball team this past year. He loves high school sports. He loves the game itself. Eske is a great guy, and Knapp will have a great home at Cal.
It's Ellison. And Ellison out of bounds. First down for the Grizzlies.
That was a late hit that they got away with. Long Beach Poly in the back with Jay Kelly actually coming and punching Ellison in the back as he went out of bounds.
I like the confidence they show in Ellison to go ahead and give him the ball right away.
Same exact play selection we saw last time. Started with the inside trap. They come back with the fly sweep again. You know, this is the guy that was a huge part of getting you there. You see that late hit out of bounds. This is the guy that was part of getting you there. So you go, you ride the horse that got you there. You have Cooley and you have Ellison.
Steady diet of running the football right now for Granite Bay.
And this time Taft Partridge early, he almost dropped this ball as well. It was down on his right hip. Ball security, a huge issue right now. So watch him as he gets the handoff, and watch this ball drop low on his hip as he goes through. Almost got stripped out again. Great job of recovering it and wrapping it up. Granite Bay needs to be careful with this football. They're only going to get so many gimmies that they can get away with. They cannot afford to put the ball on the ground again.
2nd and 7, less than 5.5 minutes to go. Ellison going to lose a half a yard on the play. Very important 3rd down coming up, because if the Jackrabbits could stop them, they're going to get pretty good field position.
And boy, Pauley is ripping at the football again. They were ripping at that ball in Ellison's hands, running that red light fly sweep where he was supposed to cut it back inside. Too many gray jerseys inside. But this defense for Pauley has turned it up a notch.
Third and 8. Caraway rolls to his right. Throws and it's incomplete. And a late flag comes in.
I believe that's going to be past the line of scrimmage.
We were behind.
Or an illegal lineman downfield.
Illegal man downfield. Offense.
The umpire actually threw that flag. No way Pauley accepts this penalty.
Nope, they will decline it and get a chance for a punt return, or maybe they'll put the punt block on with all that speed coming from the outside.
Eligible downfield. It is declined. 4th down. 4th down.
So the Grizzlies will be forced to punt, and the very dangerous John Smith will be waiting for a chance at a return. And there he is, number 9.
This is the speed team for Pauley, just coming into the game. These aren't the big boys I've said who are trying to turn up the return. These guys are coming after this punt. You're going to overload that right side.
Caraway gets it off. Very short punt. It does take a Grizzly bounce. We take a break. Exactly 4.5 minutes to go. Division I title game deadlocked at 14. Granite Bay representing Northern California. Long Beach Poly representing Southern California. Game tied at 14. The Jackrabbits have struggled with turnovers. They've given it away 4 times.
And all in the air. Luga throwing the interception to Dylan Keeney early on, and then Bussey playing that zone. Perfect position, staying home. Once again, Keeney in position for the pick six this time. And coming up huge with the initial tip, Aaron Knapp ending up with the gift interception. But Keeney responsible for 3 of those interceptions for that Granite Bay defense, doing a great job, and they need to get one back right here.
Keeney's got himself a highlight reel just from tonight.
Just today.
Yeah.
Remember, he's been the special teams MVP of the season. He's getting a lot of playing time on defense, and he's showing that his coach's confidence in him is well worth it.
Wicks, the tailback. There's a little bit of room on the right side. Scurries up the sideline. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. Gain of 4 on the play. Forced out of bounds by Dockham. Dockham, number 20. His 36th tackle of the season.
Pauly just shifting strength of the field, running counter back into the boundary, trying to use the speed of Gerard Wicks to try to get an edge. Nice chunk play.
Keep in mind, as the clock winding down, that Pauly does not have a very good field goal success ratio this season. They have really struggled, and there's a mental mistake.
John Collins, that left tackle.
Before the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
The whole point of shifting on offense is to change strength. And so when you change strength, these guys come over, Granite Bay starts to move. Collins couldn't hold his water. He ended up getting off. You got to know, if you're on an offense that likes to shift, that defensive line is going to move. You can't react. You've got to wait for the snap count.
Luga, the tailback. Jackson in the shotgun. Jackson sets up, throws, and it's caught. It's John Smith. And John Smith finally tackled at the 14-yard line.
Very nice play design by Long Beach Poly. Again, they're going for that mismatch on the inside. They're trying to get John Smith matched up against the linebacker. You see him right here. He's going to cross. When he does that, he ends up getting locked up in coverage with inside linebacker number 40, Mason Conan. And Conan is no match for the foot speed of John Smith. Just gets open, makes plays, and makes extra yards after the catch downfield. Having him back in the game for Pauly makes a huge difference.
Certainly does. 35 yards on the catch for John Smith. The toss to Wicks. And Wicks out of bounds inside the 10. .354 to go in the game.
This Poly offense starting to get it rolling. You can see they're coming up with some big plays, some chunk plays. They've really stopped themselves the last couple drives with turnovers. But they need to execute on this drive.
Luga. And Luga's still on his feet, dives for the end zone. Is he in? Yes, touchdown, Jackrabbits.
Manu Luga, just quicker to the corner. Nice job of blocking out front by Pauly. Number 15, Vincent Minduro, the tight end. We saw him come off earlier with the injured hand. Back in the game, absolutely locked down that edge for Manu. And he used that speed to get to the pylon.
Extra point, misses badly. You know, I talked just a moment ago, they didn't want to have it come down to a field goal. And that's the reason why.
So watch Minduro on the outside. This is what you do as a tight end in this system. So this is the PAT. Snap is there, hold is up, but just caught that ball off the inside of his foot and hooked it. The hold a little bit late getting down. But watch Minduro right here. He is going to get into a block and then maintain that block downfield. Great job of capturing the edge and then driving his player finishing in the end zone on that block, and that is why his tailback finished in the end zone.
So Long Beach Poly leads 20-14. Plenty of time for the Grizzlies. 3:47, but they do only have one timeout.
And again, that was self-inflicted. They called 2 timeouts because of alignment issues. So that may come back to be a factor, but that missed PAT is also huge. If Granite Bay can get a touchdown and their PAT, they have the 1-point advantage right now in this game.
Neither of these teams have won since they changed the format, one of these state bowl championship games. So it'll be a historical night for either program. Maitai, a strong kick. Partridge on the return. And Partridge splits a couple defenders and gets up to the 23. 14 yards on the return. So now it's up to Grant Caraway, their senior quarterback, number 10. Can he lead the comeback for the Grizzlies? What do you expect here? What's their philosophy? It's a fly offense team. What do you do down 6 with 3:40 to go?
I would expect to see some play action. Look for the tight end pop again. They have to hit that. They have to come back inside and find Graber. He's been effective for them. Look for that double slant look on the outside. Stick some of those things and then go back with what they do, the traps, the counters, and the sweeps. But they have to mix it up. They've turned the ball over a couple times on offense, and they've shot themselves in the foot. They need to execute at this point in the game.
Caraway, 11 of 20 for 85 yards. It's Ellison. And Ellison works very hard to just pick up a yard on first down.
Yeah, excellent job of getting something out of nothing. And Maitai on the outside, he's been all over the field tonight. He's been, involved in the kicking game, obviously, but involved in the defense. He is involved in a lot of things going on out there. A football player with a nose for the ball.
Coach referred to him, he said he's like our Troy Polamalu.
Exactly.
2nd and 8. Caraway will step up and throw, looking for Cerna. And a flag comes out.
That time Maitai up in Cerna's chest, had his hands on him. Pass interference.
Pass interference.
As soon as he puts his hands on him, puts his hands up.
Penalty, first down.
Again, you don't have to look back in high school or college football. You do not have to look back for the ball. So face guarding is completely legal, but you cannot put your hands on the receiver.
So they'll march off the 15-yard penalty. Little less than 3 minutes to go.
Maitai there in coverage. All he has to do is turn around and make a play on the ball. Instead, he felt like he was getting beat. And since it's only a short penalty here, it's not a point or a spot foul in high school football. If you feel like you're going to get beat for a touchdown, you might as well take the PI.
1st and 10. Play action. They set up the screen. Partridge. Blockers in front. Partridge. Tackled at the 27-yard line. 31 yards on the play for Partridge.
Perfectly set up screen. Great play call at the exact right time. Excellent job by Partridge getting out there, and this time waiting for his blocking, waiting for tacklers to declare which direction they were going to go. And Partridge just running over people to finish that play at the end, giving everything to David Price.
That missed extra point for Poly looming large right now as we come upon 2.5 minutes to go. Partridge. And Partridge, another first down for the Grizzlies.
I talked about Partridge as that blocker up front, and he is that unsung guy. But last year, in their sectional championship, he had 38 lead blocks. This year, he had 11 carries for 235 yards.
When he gets the rock, he can get it done.
They use him how they have to use him in a game. Right now, they have found a spot for him.
Timeout, Poly.
So Poly has used their 2nd timeout. Each team now has 1 timeout left.
Tactically, I actually think that's a really good time for timeout. Great call by Coach Lara. Calling the timeout, Granite Bay has momentum. Poly's back on their heels. They're breathing hard right now. They feel like they're sliding. Call that timeout, settle them down, and also slow down the pace of that Granite Bay offense. You want to change pace right now for your defense. Give them a breather and let them come back in refreshed. I would like to see, if I'm the coach for Poly, pressure. Bring the dogs. Bring the heat right now. Force Granite Bay to make a mistake down here this close to the end zone.
The one counter to the timeout here, though, is that if Long Beach ends up down by a point, they might want that timeout as they try to come back.
But they're also saving time off the clock right now as well, so they're going to need that extra time to go. You know, there's so many things that plays out in a game. It's an excellent point. But once you have the ball, you can manage clock. You can manage it by throwing the ball out of bounds, getting out of bounds. You're in control of it. Whereas right now, they need to save time, and they need to slow down that Granite Bay defense, or excuse me, Granite Bay offense.
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Partridge, the ball carrier. And Partridge right now is possessed. I mean, there's nothing Poly can do to stop him right now.
And Coach Cooper says, get up because we're getting back on your back and we're going to let you carry us into the end zone. Partridge with a great job. Great pressure upfield by that Poly defense. But Partridge bouncing it back to the middle and getting those tough yards. That's what a fullback is supposed to do. He's supposed to bring the wood to the party. Partridge running hard. You see number 8,
Marshall.
Hyman Marshall on the ground. Partridge is a load to try to take on.
And Kevin Blank goes over to tell Partridge, I like what you're doing. Keep it going.
Kevin Blank, actually a great story. You know, we talked about him. He missed those first 2 games this season. Actually had an ACL injury. Had to have surgery in the offseason from a wrestling move. It wasn't even for football. He injured his knee wrestling and had the knee surgery. Well, he talked about the knee injuries in the family this year. Blank, actually the 3rd of the Blank family. His older brother, who had played at Granite Bay, also had a dislocated knee when he was here at Granite Bay. His dad had a trick knee that would go out from time to time. And their dog even has a trick knee that they're about to get surgery for. His dad was joking around about it, said, yeah, well, the $1,400 we're going to have to spend on the dog surgery is much better than the $14,000 we had to spend for the surgery on Kevin, because it's a trick knee. But here in his senior season, you know, giving his all, he still limps around out there on that knee. And Coach Cooper commented on it. He said, you know, the guy's just a warrior. He goes out and plays. He gets it done. Sometimes he limps on that knee, but he is finding a way to make plays on offense.
Partridge now has 29 yards on the ground and 35 yards through the air. He's been the go-to guy in the 4th quarter. Again, it's Partridge. And he picks up the 1st down, so it's now 1st and goal with 1 minute and 34 seconds to go.
Giddy up, Taft. They're going to ride you all the way to the end zone. Coach Cooper is persistent and relentless, handing that ball off on the inside trap. Now look for the play action here. They've set it up. Partridge has gotten the ball. Long Beach Poly has to be looking for him. We talked about Steven Graber, 11 touchdowns on the season. More than 1 in 3 catches is a touchdown.
He's lined up on the left side of the line, Graber. It's Cooley, he's in for the touchdown. Grizzlies have tied it at 20.
Well, there's the changeup. Fake the handoff on that trap to Taft. Handoff to Cooley over the top into the end zone. Excellently engineered drive, if that is a proper word. Well-engineered drive. Fake that underneath handoff, hand it off on the belly over the top to Cooley and let him follow the blocking. Great job up front by that Granite Bay offensive line. The Grizzlies driving the ball down the field.
Brown's extra point is good. And the Grizzlies lead 21-20. But 1 minute and 12 seconds remain. And Long Beach Poly still has 1 timeout left.
And talk about engineering a drive when you have to get it done. They run the screen to Partridge. The big man carrying the rock inside on the dive. come back on the trap again with Partridge, who is bringing the wood. And on the goal line, they hand it to Cooley as the changeup. Great play calling by Ernie Cooper. Great 1-2 tandem in backs between Partridge and Cooley, and doing what they have had to do with this team that runs the football. And this play looms large. The missed PAT and the 2-point conversion by Granite Bay. Remember, they went for 2 to get it back to a 1-touchdown game. When Pauly missed that PAT, it gave Granite Bay the scoring advantage. Now it's up to that Granite Bay defense, who has been so good all game long, to come up with one more stop.
The Jackrabbits certainly have the playmakers. They've got enough time to come back. Brown kicks it. It's a squib kick. John Smith on the return. And Smith, a great return. Ball at the 40-yard line. But keep in mind, you can't count on the kicking game if you're Long Beach Poly. They've got to be thinking touchdown.
They have to get the touchdown. They have to drive it in, because their kicking game has been non-existent for field goals tonight. That's the guy to keep your eye on. John Smith, the big playmaker at wide receiver. They may just throw it up to him, throw that ball high, and let him try to go for it.
He's lined up in the left slot. Number 9. Jackson in the shotgun. And Jackson's going to scramble. Remember, they only have one timeout. Doesn't get out of bounds, doesn't throw it out of bounds. That was the worst case scenario right there for Long Beach Poly.
And look at Ernie Cooper telling him, wind the clock, keep that clock running. He wants to see those seconds tick off.
Long Beach Poly, a lot of precious seconds ticking away.
Wow.
And they finally spike it with 36 seconds.
That one play just cost them 29 seconds off of the clock. That was a costly single play by Jackson. You've got to know as a quarterback, and remember, he's the backup coming into this game. So, and these are high school kids. They're not faced with this situation very often. But you come up, if you don't get out of bounds, you come up, you spike that ball right now.
John Smith this time lined up in the right slot. And before the play, penalty.
Before the snap, false start, offense. 5 yards, third down, 3 foot.
So they got to put 1 second back on the clock, because that was before the snap. So back to 36 seconds.
Quite a situation for Jackson to be in right now. The backup quarterback. He's played well, but this is the moment here.
They actually added an extra second, because it was 36 before that. They added an extra second to the clock.
Third down. Jackson throws. It's caught. And the receiver didn't realize he needed to get the first down there, Mike. Now it's 4th down.
Now it's 4th and, what, 2?
I mean, he could have easily got the first down. There was nobody near him, but he was so worried about the clock that he stepped out of bounds.
So as a receiver, what you have to do in that situation is get as many yards as you can, but get them on the sideline so that when it comes time to get tackled, you are out of bounds. You just step out.
Grizzlies get one stop, and they're going to be state champs.
And Coach Cooper, the biggest cheerleader for his squad right now, trying to get this crowd into it.
4th and 2. Jackson looks, throws it up, and it's picked off. Aaron Knapp. Second pick of the game for Aaron Knapp, and the Grizzlies are going nuts.
And so fitting that this defense for Granite Bay comes up with the huge play to win it all. And look at Nick McHale there on the sideline, knowing, barring barring some disaster, that he is now state champion at the D1 level. This Granite Bay high school football team, who started 1-3 to begin the season, an improbable finish. Nobody after week 4 would have predicted Granite Bay would be in the Home Depot Center going for the state championship, yet Aaron Knapp seals it with the huge interception.
Victory formation. Final seconds ticking off the clock. And the Granite Bay Grizzlies get it done. They are the Division I state champs. What a moment for Coach Cooper and the Grizzlies.
And a tough loss for that Long Beach Poly team, who also really battled adversity this year. Showed great character on the season. Coach Laura and his squad, his coaching staff, doing an excellent job of giving those kids what they needed for success this year. Both these teams have really formed some young men this season in overcoming adversity and doing the things that they've been able to do. Long Beach Poly disappointed, but again, they were the top team at the Division I level in Southern California this year. Nothing to hang your head about. This Granite Bay team played. They played hard, they played physical, and they were persistent. They would not be denied at the end, and they came up with a huge play to finish this game, and they came up with the plays they needed to when they needed to.
So Poly now 0-2 in California State Championship Bowl games, and in their first ever appearance in a state championship bowl game, the Grizzlies find a way to get the win. And for Poly, when they scored, their inability to convert the extra point is what cost them the game.
Tough one. Great job by Luga. Great effort getting the ball in the end zone. And sometimes it just comes down to that. But Granite Bay finding a way to drive the field, to make the plays when they had to, the huge plays, to drive the length of the field, to come back and get the game-winning touchdown and PAT.
What an emotional roller coaster ride this game was for both these teams.
And can high school football get any better than that? I mean, that is what a state championship game should look like right there. Two great teams, contrasting styles, battling it out. And the Granite Bay Grizzlies all going over to celebrate with their fans. Again, forming community. Two public schools. We had two private schools in the Division IV game. Two public schools here battling it out and battling tooth and nail to the last second.
That's good stuff right there, that celebration. Going over to see their fans that made the trip down from Northern California.
The long trip down I-5, and that is long from Sacramento here. About 6.5 hours.
And this would be a tough pill to swallow for Long Beach Poly, but you know they'll be back. Incredible tradition.
And this team has nothing to hang their head about. What they battled through this year to get to this game, to play themselves into this game, shows a huge amount of courage and a huge amount of heart. On top of that, this is a very young Poly football team. Your starting quarterback is a sophomore. A lot of your most talented players are juniors and sophomores. So this team may be back next year in this very game. They are good, they are talented, they have good coaching and good tradition. They need to keep the support for this team. They are hanging their heads right now, but they can be proud of what they accomplished this year. But that Granite Bay squad gets to celebrate tonight. A huge victory for the Grizzlies to come down here and get this done.
So we're just waiting for the trophy presentation down on the field. Drea will take over once they get everything situated. And Granite Bay will be formally announced as the champions of Division I, and let's send it to Drea.
Well, alongside Rick Spears and Jim Perry from CIF, We are proud to present the trophies tonight, and we would love to present the Division I runner-up trophy to Coach Laura and Long Beach Poly.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, for the Division I championship trophy, we will present it now to Coach Cooper. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Coach.
The school's first trip to the State Bowl, and you come away victorious. What does this mean for the city, for the school, and for these fans?
Yeah, this is for the whole community of Granite Bay. Since 1996, has supported not only our school, but this football program. They have been behind us. A lot of people made it down for the game, but really, that's why I couldn't be more proud of our school and our community. But we have a group of young men that persevered this year. I got to give you the state champions right here.
Coach, your team started this season 1-3. What can you say about the fortitude and the perseverance that they've shown all season long, especially tonight?
Yeah, we got that. We have that up on our wall in our weight room, the word perseverance. We did it this year. It's a lifelong lesson for these guys. We hung in there. We kept working hard. And, you know, we ended up with the final prize.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Okay.
Let's send it back to Ari and Mike.
Thank you very much, Dre. Congratulations to Coach Cooper and to the Grizzlies. Put a bow on this one, Michael.
Perseverance. I think Coach Cooper nailed it. You know, think about the formative experience this is for all of these young men in life. And a lot of times growing up nowadays in the elementary schools, you don't have to deal with losses. You don't get to deal with wins. And you're having success and failure out here on the team. These are things that you have to learn in life. Both of these teams dealing with it in their own way. They are growing from this game, but a fantastic game. And this is what high school football should be about. It's a learning experience. It is helping to build young men and build character with success and through failure. Both these teams competed. They were outstanding. They both learned. They both grow from this. But Granite Bay gets to take home that championship trophy, and that means a lot to that team in Sacramento.
This is an instant classic, a game that will not soon be forgotten. Granite Bay from Northern California comes down to Southern California and takes down one of the proudest programs in California history. They beat Long Beach Poly 21-20. On behalf of our entire crew, thank you so much for tuning in. But we're just getting started. A triple header tomorrow, starting at noon. Division 3, then Division 2, and we'll wrap it up at 8 o'clock in prime time. De La Salle taking on Corona Centennial. On behalf of Drea Avent, Mike Pulowski, I am Ari Wolf. So glad that you watched this instant classic. The Granite Bay Grizzlies are the Division I California State Champs. They beat Long Beach Poly 21-20. Take care, everybody.